An island for all. I can add attributes to everything. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 1 Island World. System activated. I'm about to enter the island world. 18 years of hard work will see the results soon, Subei muttered to himself, his heart racing. He has been here for 18 years, and he has a very thorough understanding of this world. Due to the explosive population growth, Blue Star's resources were exhausted 100 years ago. Fortunately, the floating island world appeared. After the exploration, the pioneers returned with rich resources, which caused a sensation. After researches in various countries, unanimous conclusions were reached. The island world is the last hope of mankind and cannot be missed. The era of great exploration has come, and countless people rushed into the island world. Some people came home full of things, and some people have no bones left. During this process, various rules have been explored, and the development of Blue Star has undergone tremendous changes. The first is entry conditions. After everyone reaches the age of 18, they will automatically be eligible to enter the island world, and they can get their own initial island by responding to the call. However, it is not so easy to truly become an island owner. There are monsters on the island. You can get the heart of the island by killing them, and you can become a trainee island owner after being bound. This step is enough to eliminate 1/3 of the newcomers. And even if you become a trainee island owner, it doesn't mean you can sit back and relax. There will still be monsters attacking in the follow-up. If the heart of the island is destroyed, it will still lose the identity of the island owner and become an ordinary person. In addition, when newcomers enter the island world, the materials they can carry are very limited, and cannot bring hot weapons. This is the biggest limitation. Before the age of 18, the ordinary people in this world will learn a lot different from the old times. The most important thing is fighting. After all, only by defeating monsters can you become an apprentice island owner. The second is a variety of farming and construction skills. In this way, even if he can't become an island owner, at least he has a good skill, and can go to the official island owner to eat and drink. As a scholar, Subei is always the first in various simulations and has high expectations. Many consortiums took the initiative to contact him and wanted to invest, but all were rejected. While thinking about it, the head teacher Li Jian sent another message. Subei, are you sure you don't accept investment? Li Jian began to persuade. Although your simulation results are very good, you also know that the island world is in crisis, and no one can say what will happen. Do you really stop thinking about it? Subei quickly replied with a message. Thank you teacher for your concern, but I have already decided. Just now, he sensed the call, and a light gray mark appeared on the back of his hand. As long as you answer the call, you can enter the island world. Turning off the communicator, Subei put his hand on the mark on the back of his hand and drank in his heart. Send. The light flashed, and Subei's figure disappeared in place. Along with it, there are tens of millions of young people around the world. On the other hand, Li Jian found that the message was interrupted and could not help but sigh. Seeing this situation, the consortium representatives next to him knew that he had failed to persuade him to succeed, so he snorted coldly, and got up and left. When I left, I didn't forget to complain. That student really doesn't know what to do. No matter how good the simulated results are, it's too difficult to become an island owner with basic materials. That is, without the special products on the island. How can you beat the initial monster? This year's monster intensity has increased again. Even the official island owner dare not guarantee the ticket. He is an ordinary person with no background, waiting to be eliminated. Li Jian's expression became a little ugly, and he replied unconvinced, I believe in my students. The delegates walked away cursing. I believe that if it was useful, so many people would not be eliminated. HMPH, let that kid be proud for a few days. Wait until he is eliminated and see how he cries. Naturally, Subei did not know what the representatives of the consortium were talking about. He had already arrived at the island world at this time and landed on the edge. The island is in the shape of a long strip as a whole, Although the terrain is undulating, there are no mountains, just ordinary hills, and the ground is covered with weeds. There are a few coconut trees in the distance. Not too good conditions, but not bad. A decent initial island. After observing the surrounding environment, Sube immediately found a hiding place, put down the backpack, and took out the leather armor and long knife equipment inside. Entering the island world for the first time, it can carry about 20 kilograms of supplies. In addition to equipment, there are only a few days' rations and a small amount of seeds. It's no use taking more. After the equipment was complete, Sube couldn't help muttering, "What about the system? Why hasn't there been any movement yet?" As a traverser, the system is naturally standard. Yesterday, the system that had been waiting for 18 years finally made a move. But the official activation requires him to enter the island world, and this is also the basis for Sube's final rejection of the consortium. With the system in place, do you still need the support of the consortium? What they can give, the system can do just as well, and better. In this regard, Sube is convinced. His call was answered, and the system's voice sounded again. Ding. It is detected that the host has entered the island world, and the Super God entry system is activated. Chapter 2 Start refreshing. Break armor. The simple prompt made Sube clench his fists in excitement and ask in his heart, "System, what function do you have?" The function of this system is to add entries to all things. According to the current strength of the host, an entry can be added to the target. Before the entry is fixed, the target can be refreshed once a day, and 3 alternative entries can be obtained for each refresh. Alternative entries will not disappear until they are actively refreshed. At this stage, there are 3 opportunities to fix entries every day. Please note that pinning and refresh opportunities cannot be accumulated and reset automatically at midnight. After the target has a fixed entry, it cannot be refreshed until a new entry is unlocked. The grade of the entry is divided into ordinary, excellent, rare, excellent, epic, legend, and myth. The higher the grade, the less likely it will appear. After a brief explanation, Sube figured out the role of the Super God entry system. Kind of like reinforcement, but different. An item can only have 1 entry temporarily, but as long as the entry is not fixed, it can be refreshed every day to get better entries. If selected, it can no longer be refreshed. How to choose is a test of Sube's wisdom. It is necessary to make the most appropriate choice based on the current situation. There is another very important point. The system can add entries to everything. The meaning behind this made Sube excited. Doesn't it mean that the ordinary equipment he has in hand also has a role to play? If you can get high-grade entries, it's not a problem if you want to kill monsters to get the heart of the island. Thinking of this, Sube decisively retracted his thoughts and looked down at the long knife in his hand. Immediately, a triumphant smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Name, long knife quality, ordinary entry, not activated, refreshed ×1 description, an ordinary knife. While seeing the attribute, the system prompt also sounded. Refresh the entry? In the face of the system's inquiry, Sube naturally did not hesitate at all. Refresh. The light flashed, and 3 light balls appeared around the long knife. The colors are also different, 1 white, 1 blue and 1 purple. Although it was the first refresh, Sube knew that light balls of different colors correspond to entries of different qualities. It's just that there are as many as 7 grades of entry attributes, and he doesn't know what grades these 3 colors correspond to. But it's not a big problem, you can see it at a glance. Sube clicked on the white light ball, and the related entry attributes also came to mind. Hardness, normal grade, slightly improved material, upgrade item level to lower black iron. Sube was surprised the moment he saw this entry. It can even upgrade a normal level long knife to a black iron level. Although it is only a low grade black iron, it is also extraordinary. Only the materials in the island world have grades. The black iron grade is the lowest, and there are bronze grades, silver grades, and gold grades. And even the most low-level black iron grade materials are expensive to put on Blue Star. The long knife that Sube brought to the island world was made of Blue Star's high-quality alloy. Even so, It can only be rated as ordinary. And now, under the entry system, even the lowest ordinary entry can improve the quality of the long knife to the black iron level. The long knife of the low-grade black iron is already cutting iron like mud, and it is worth at least 50,000 yuan. And it's not a good buy. In the island world, ore veins are rare resources, and with Su Bei's background, you can't buy a black iron long knife. In fact, it's not just him, most newcomers can't buy it, and can only use the basic materials issued by the government. This is also understandable. Every year, the number of young people entering the island world from the Dragon Kingdom alone is as high as 10 million. If all of them are prepared with advanced equipment, how can they hold it? Being able to distribute basic materials is already the maximum guarantee. It is said that Osango next door even entered empty-handed. Su Bei calmed down and turned his gaze to the cyan light ball beside him. Bleeding, excellent level, grants bleeding special effects, and upgrades the item level to the top grade of black iron. Excellent entry. Su Bei's expression became more relaxed. This super god entry system is really strong. An excellent level entry can elevate the long knife to the top grade of black iron, which is several times stronger than the low grade of black iron. The two grades of long knives slashed against each other, and the low grade one must have broken on the spot, while the high grade one was unscathed. Also, the bleeding effect is a good thing. Wounds cannot be healed, and even the most powerful monsters will eventually die with hatred. Of course, the premise is that Su Bei can last until that time. Referring to the basic attributes of monsters over the years, Su Bei feels that the possibility does not seem to be very large. The physical quality of ordinary people is still not strong enough, and even ordinary beasts may not be able to fight, let alone island monsters. Although the bloody entry is good, it does not apply to the current situation. It is more suitable for long-range weapons, run and drag hard. But Su Bei is not in a hurry. There is one entry that I haven't read yet. He had a feeling that the purple ball of light would give him a huge surprise. Turning his eyes over, the attributes of the relevant entry came to mind. As guessed, the surprise instantly surrounded Su Bei, making him almost jump. Armor break, epic level. Attack ignores 60% defense, raise item level to lower silver level. Developed. Advertisement. Chapter 3 Langian Sword, Win Leather Armor, Silver Low Grade. Su Bei's brain stopped for a moment, and when he reacted, his whole body was shaking with excitement. According to his understanding, silver level equipment can only be obtained by senior island owners. Don't even think about it if you haven't been in the island world for more than 10 years. But now, the opportunity presented itself just like that. Without the slightest hesitation, Su Bei immediately chose to fix the armor-piercing entry. Although he has 3 fixed chances a day, in the face of an epic entry, a fool knows not to miss it. Besides, Su Bei only has so many resources on hand right now. If the weapon is not strengthened, is it the seed brought by strengthening? No matter how strong the seed is, it has to be planted. If the monsters on the island are not cleaned up, let alone reclaiming farmland, even their own safety cannot be guaranteed. Ding, the entry has been fixed. While thinking, the system prompt sounded, and Su Bei looked down at the long knife in his hand. At this time, although the overall shape of the long knife has not changed much, Su Bei can clearly feel the difference in his hand. It feels better in the hand and is more suitable for exertion. Moreover, the sharp blade made his eyes hurt just by looking at it, and his body felt like it was being cut. It is conceivable that being hit by this thing is definitely the end of death on the spot. Name, Longian Knife Quality, Silver Low Grade Attribute, plus 20 Strength Entry, Armor Break, Epic Description. A well-trained long knife that can easily split the body of the enemy. Su Bei became more and more happy. While the quality of the long knife has improved, not only has the name become more domineering, but it has also added additional attributes to him. No wonder he felt like he was full of energy. I thought it was an illusion, but it turned out to be true. Put the Longian sword in his hand and admire for a moment. Su Bei hangs it on his waist. He still has 2 opportunities to fix the entry, but he can't be satisfied with this. In addition to weapons, the leather armor on the body should also be strengthened. As long as the entry is not too rubbish, fix it first, then look for the island monster. and get the island heart after killing it. It is impossible for Subei to wait until tomorrow to reset the refreshed chance to act. The sooner you become an island owner, the greater the benefit. In particular, the first newcomer to become a trainee island owner will receive additional awards from the island world. The previous Subei didn't dare to hope, but now, he wants to give it a shot. Although he has a system in hand, he does not dare to slack off. Restraining his mind, Subei looked at the leather armor, and received a reminder as usual. Refresh the entry. Refresh. Another 3 light balls appeared in the field of vision. But this time the color is different. There are white and blue as usual, and the third one is blue. Defense enhancement, ordinary level, slightly increased defense power, and raise the item level to low grade black iron light and light, excellent level, slightly improve the action ability, and upgrade the item level to the top grade of black iron. The entries in white and cyan are not too surprising. Subei didn't care either and looked at the blue entry. Stable, excellent level, greatly enhances defense, reduces the probability of being knocked into the air, and raises the item level to top bronze. Although it is not as good as the epic armor piercing, the excellent stability is enough for Subei to use. Select fixed directly. Afterwards, the leather armor on his body took on a new look, and Subei moved his hands and feet, feeling as light as a swallow. Name, Win leather armor quality, bronze top grade attribute, plus 15 constitution entry, stable, excellent description. The leather armor made from the fur of the wind wolf is extremely rare. With the Longian sword in hand and the gust of wind leather armor, Subei's self-confidence swelled like never before. Now let him fight the floating island monster. It is not wrong at all. With his current strength, becoming a trainee island owner should not be a problem. To be honest, even the second generation of the island might not be able to use his current equipment. If he is eliminated in this way, then there is nothing to say, only that he is too bad. After fixing the armor break and stabilization entries, Subei's fixed number is only once today. Looking around, in the backpack he brought, there were still compressed biscuits and purified water, other than some crop seeds. In Subei's vision, these things can also refresh the entry. As long as the entry is not fixed, the number of refreshes is reset every day, and there is no whitewashing. But perhaps it was the armor breaking and stability that exhausted his luck. When refreshing these materials, 3 common level entries were used as alternatives. I can't even see a blue excellent entry. Like compressed biscuits, there are even entries like delicious. On the other hand, Subei will think about it to see how delicious it is. But now, he naturally will not use the last chance to cure here. After the rest of the supplies were refreshed, there were no valuable entries, so Subei could only give up. Just as he was about to get up to look for the island monster, an idea suddenly appeared in Subei's mind. The system says that you can add entries to everything. So himself is also within this category. Although it feels weird to classify myself as an object. But after seeing the power of the entry, Subei felt that it should be summed up, and the most important thing is to get the benefits. When it comes to himself, Subei naturally does not try rashly, but asks in his heart, "System, can I write the entry for myself?" The system is silent. It is estimated that it is also the first time that such a problem has been encountered, and it is a bit unresponsive. After a beeping sound, the system answered, "Can." Advertisement. Chapter 4. Add an entry for yourself. Kill God. After getting an affirmative answer, Subei immediately began to try. Refresh. In the field of vision, there are still 3 light balls floating around. The 2 white ones, you don't need to look at them, they must be rubbish. But the third ball of light is flashing with colorful light. Such a performance immediately lets Subei know that this last entry is absolutely extraordinary. This is the appearance, can it be ordinary goods? The epic entries just now are not so magical. Without the slightest hesitation, Subei checked it directly, and as for the other 2, he didn't even look at it. Killing God, mythical level, 10-fold increase in basic attributes, gain the ability to draw battles, immune to mind control effects, and open the path to transcendence. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Subei even shouted 3 times in his heart, almost unable to stand up. He never expected that the first time he encountered a mythical entry was when he refreshed himself. Outrageous. The huge surprise made Subei a little dizzy. This is a real explosion of character. After regaining his composure, Subei couldn't help but look at the entry of the killing god that was shining with colorful lights again, and the more he looked, the more he liked it. As expected of a mythical entry, under the subdivision, there are actually 4 effects. The most basic, and also the most simple and violent, is to increase the basic attributes tenfold. What is this concept? Even a sick old man will instantly become alive and strong, and it is not a problem to punch the iron plate with 1 punch. In order to become an island owner, Subei has been exercising for 18 years, and his physical fitness is very good. 10 times higher, a proper little Superman. In addition, the killing god entry also gives the ability to learn from the battle, which can continuously replenish physical strength during the battle, giving Subei an unimaginable lasting fighting ability. He could even kill without closing his eyes for days and nights. This is very in line with the concept of killing god. If you stop after 2 hits, what is it called? Killing a god. The third effect, immunity to mind control effects, is also quite powerful. After the tenfold increase in basic attributes, Subei is not afraid of any positive challenges. However, those interference skills are more difficult. But now that he has the intention of killing the gods, any evil spirits must retreat. As for the final opening of the extraordinary road, strictly speaking, this is not an effect. With the addition of the first 3 effects of the killing god entry, the gap between him and ordinary people is completely widened. In addition, there are extraordinary powers in Blue Star. Those senior island owners, who obtained treasures from the island and awakened their abilities, were called extraordinary by the outside world. It is no surprise that Subei embarked on the path of transcendence through the entry of killing gods. After admiring the killing god for a while, Subei put away his expression and gave an order. Fixed. The colorful ball of light began to melt into Subei's body. In an instant, intense pain swept over, causing Subei to fall directly to the ground, his body shaking continuously. He felt that his muscles were cracking inch by inch. The pain was beyond words. The internal organs seemed to be on fire, and the exhaled gas distorted the air in front of him. Pain, unparalleled pain. Subei wanted to faint directly, but with the will of killing the god instilled, his consciousness remained absolutely awake. This meant that he had truly experienced this pain. Gradually, Subei felt a new power emerging from within. Heat flowed through his battered body, repairing those horrific wounds. At the same time, black sludge kept pouring out of Subei's pores. After an unknown time, the system's voice rang in my mind. Ding, the entry has been solidified. Subei thought that it was finally over, and subconsciously tried to get up. Then he turned and lay on the ground. If there's a slow-motion replay, you can see that Subei rested on the ground with 1 palm, and directly swung 180 degrees in the air, turning from left to right. Although he fell hard, Subei didn't feel any pain. First, the edge of the island is a sandy beach, very soft. Second, at the moment of hitting the ground, Subei's muscles vibrated regularly, dissipating all the impact. And these are all natural responses made by his body without his knowledge. After obtaining the entry for killing gods, Subei has undergone earth-shaking changes. Lying on the ground wondering for a moment, Subei realized the problem, and controlled his strength to get up carefully. Then jumped a bit. With a swoosh, Subei soared into the sky, leaping several meters high before falling. Subei didn't dare to act trashly. Good guy, the tenfold increase in attributes is too exaggerated, and he can't grasp it. It took about half an hour for Subei to get used to his new strength. Then I found myself covered with black stains and that unpleasant smell. As someone who loves cleanliness, Subei couldn't stand it, so he rushed to the sea next to him to take a bath. Bathing in seawater is only an expedient measure, but it can only be done. After killing the island monster, you must find a clean water source. Then clean it up. When Subei stepped out of the sea, the intense hunger almost made him fall to the ground. Although the effect of the killing god entry is powerful, It strengthens Subei's body to an unimaginable level. But this process consumes a lot of energy. Just now Subei was getting excited and didn't realize it. Calm down now. Immediately hungry eyes are stunned. Even if I killed all the compressed biscuits in my backpack, I still couldn't stop my hunger. There was only one thought in Subei's mind right now. Kill the island monster and bake it. But before he could set off, the sound of rumbling footsteps came from a distance. The agitated dust wafted, like an earth dragon coming straight towards the area where Subei was. Seeing this situation, Subei immediately reacted. Island monsters are coming. Advertisement Chapter 5 One-shot kill. Subei was not surprised when the island monster came to his door. After the newcomer arrives on the initial island, the monsters here will also feel it and take the initiative to attack. So even if newcomers want to avoid the war, they can't do it. The island is so big, where can you hide? And since he chose to respond to the call, he naturally knew that after landing on the island, he would need to face the attack of monsters. Subei's eyes were like electricity, and he could clearly see the appearance of the incoming monster. The overall shape is like a lizard, but the body is much larger. The body is more than 5 meters long, and the eyes of the inverted triangle do not carry any emotion. The scales on his body are the size of a palm, and the whole body is black, reflecting a metallic luster, which is obviously extremely defensive. The related attributes of lizards also appeared in Subei's vision. Name: Iron armored lizard level, black iron. Lower skills: 1. Infrared perception. 2. Defense enhancement. 3. Venom arrow. Description: lizard specializing in defense, difficult to break with ordinary weapons. Seeing the scales in the armor, Subei knew why just being a trainee island owner was enough to eliminate 1/3 of the newcomers. Good guy, just relying on the ordinary long knife before wanting to kill the iron-armored lizard of this black iron subordinate is simply a dream. Must rely on various trap tactics. It is possible to slowly grind to death. This process is very dangerous. Because only from the perspective of charging speed, the basic attributes of this iron-armored lizard are more than twice that of ordinary people. Not to mention being bitten, just being bumped and rubbed can make the internal organs displace. If it is the previous Subei, then in such a situation, there is only a tactical retreat. After you are fully prepared, use the trap to defeat the armored lizard. But now, after obtaining the dragon's blade and the furious wind leather armor, and the entry to kill the god, Subei doesn't care when he sees the charge of the armored lizard. That's it. Holding the Longian saber in his hand tightly, Subei exerted force on his calf. His body was like a cannonball unloaded, and he rushed out a dozen meters in an instant, greatly narrowing the distance between him and the armored lizard. The iron lizard was startled. What speed is this? In addition, the human on the opposite side actually saw that it was not afraid, but even rushed over. The ironclad lizard felt that he was being despised, and his anger grew from his heart, and his wickedness turned to his courage. He opened his bloody mouth and was ready to bite the human in front of him to death. But faster than the iron-armored lizard is the Longian sword in Subei's hand. Under the tenfold blessing of the killing god entry, Subei's strength and speed have already crushed the iron-armored lizards in all directions. In his eyes, the opponent's attack seemed to be played back in slow motion, and he could easily dodge it with just a single move. Then the Longian knife in his hand aimed at the eyeball of the armored lizard and stabbed it. Puff. Blood spurted out. Before the pain was transmitted to the brain, the dragon yin knife had turned twice in the head of the ironclad lizard, breaking the hard skull, and lifted the head of the ironclad lizard. Rumble. The corpse of the armored lizard slid along the sand. Until death, the iron armor lizard didn't know what happened. It knew that it rushed forward, and then the boundless darkness shrouded it, and there was no other consciousness. Subei twisted his wrist to shake off the blood on the dragon's sword, and then walked towards the corpse of the armored lizard. He wants to take out the heart of the island from the corpse, and after binding, he can become a trainee island owner. Until now, he has not received a notification from the island world, indicating that no newcomer has killed the island monster. This is also normal. Even if the second generation of the island has additional resources, but limited by the weight of the materials, They will not become apprentice island owners too fast. There is even a risk of overturning. Sube gathered his thoughts, kicked the ironclad lizard's corpse over, and ripped it open with a dragon sword. I didn't start with the back because the scales were still useful. Although the iron-armored lizard is only a lower level of black iron, its value is not low. Those scales are the best material for making armor. These scales come in handy when Sube recruits fighters. Even if you don't use it yourself, it's still good to sell it. You can exchange it for the startup capital and let the island develop faster. While thinking about it, the movements of Sube's hands paused. The Longian knife hit a hard object. If nothing else, it is the heart of the island. Slicing the flesh and blood, Sube saw a fist-sized spar. The low-grade silver dragon sword can't hurt it. The heart of the island. Drop blood on it to complete the binding and obtain the status of the trainee island owner. Looking at the heart of the island with blood in his hands, Sube's face showed excitement. At the same time, it was like a dream. It was so easy to achieve something that he had never dared to think about before, which made Sube feel unreal. The super god entry system is so terrifying. Break armor, stable, kill god, 3 entries, directly push his combat power to the extreme, and easily kill island monsters. Excited for a moment, Sube calmed down, cleaned up the heart of the island and placed it on the ground, then picked up the dragon sword and pointed it at his finger. Heart of the island requires blood binding. However, this step almost stumped Sube. He was stunned to find that the low-grade silver dragon sword did not cut his fingers. Sube is numb. The defense is too strong, and it has become an obstacle. Fortunately, Sube has not yet reached the level of invulnerability. After working hard for a while, he finally cut a small opening. A drop of blood fell on the heart of the island, and the wound recovered simultaneously. Sube decided to pretend he didn't see it. 10 times the basic attribute improvement is indeed a bit exaggerated. But in the next second, his attention was attracted by the sound of the announcement. Congratulations to Sube, a newcomer of the Dragon Kingdom, for obtaining the heart of the island, becoming the first trainee island owner this year, and rewarding a gold-level treasure box for encouragement. Congratulations to Sube, a newcomer of the Dragon Kingdom, for obtaining the heart of the island, becoming the first trainee island owner this year, and rewarding a gold-level treasure box for encouragement. Congratulations to Sube, a newcomer of the Dragon Kingdom, for obtaining the heart of the island, becoming the first trainee island owner this year, and rewarding a gold-level treasure box for encouragement. The announcement sounded 3 times in a row. All newcomers received. Many people are in turmoil, unable to hold themselves back. Is there a mistake, that someone has become the owner of the island? Advertisement. Chapter 6. Blood Spirit Fruit Receipts. The island world is vast, and even though there are tens of millions of young people entering the world this time, the distance between them is still far away. On these islands, newcomers from all over the world have dull eyes. The announcement that sounded just now was beyond their imagination. How long have they been here? It's just over half an hour. Someone actually killed the island monster and became a trainee island owner? Heck, how is this done? You know, many newcomers will not even see the shadow of the monster. Even if there is a fast movement, it is just to find out the position of the monster, and then start to detect the surrounding terrain. As for the direct fight, that is impossible. Completely self-defeating behavior. Even the second generation of the island, who grew up eating all kinds of treasures, and whose physical fitness is far superior to ordinary people, would not dare to say that they would kill the island monsters. They also have to move carefully, develop a sound battle plan, and then do it. Those ordinary newcomers are even more cautious, and they will not do anything until the last minute. As a result, the island world reports that someone has become a trainee island owner. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Some newcomers even wondered if the island world had made a mistake. But the loud notification sound seemed to be circling in his ears. In the chat area dedicated to the apprentice island owner, there was also a message on the top. It's all telling. It was someone who killed monsters and became a trainee island owner. The newcomer chat area exploded directly. Those who aspire to be the first trainee island owners this year are constantly complaining and questioning fairness. The sun never sets. William with the physique of the Dragon Kingdom. How could it be possible to kill the island monster so quickly? Cheating. He must have cheated. Sang Oneru. I agree, it is definitely cheating. I have never beaten monsters after drinking the holy water of the Ganges. It is impossible for the people of Longo to do it. Bangtsai Kingdom Parkren. According to the investigation, Subei is actually from our Bangtsai Kingdom Fusion Kingdom Hikawan Tsunazaka. It's just farting upstairs. Subei is ours. Lighthouse Country Francis, publish your cheating methods, or you will be punished. Although the world has changed for 100 years, many things have not changed. Newcomers from other regions jumped out to criticize, and their words revealed arrogance and prejudice. They don't want to believe that the people of Longo can be the first trainee island owners. And Subei's non-response fueled their arrogance. It's not that Subei doesn't respond, but that he hasn't watched the newcomer channel at all. After landing, it is too late to brush the entry. How can I care about other things? When the entry was finished, the iron-armored lizard came to the door again and started to fight without stopping for a moment. It would be strange to go to the chat area when you had time. But Subei didn't respond, and the other newcomers in Long Kingdom couldn't sit still. It doesn't matter if you recognize Subei or not. Anyway, at this moment, everyone is from the Dragon Kingdom. In the face of evil words from outsiders, we must fight back. Longo Song Tsixuan. Someone's vinegar bottle was overturned. Why is there such a big sour taste? Ha 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 ha. Longo Qiaoshan. In a hurry. They are in a hurry. Dragon Kingdom Zhongyong. Sushan is mighty, who said my dragon country has no one. Dragon Kingdom Wang Yongzhen. Sushan came out and said a word, and let those hillbillies in the barbarian land see what a new king is. To talk about the art of speaking, we have to look at the dragon country. All kinds of referring to saying and scolding. Why? All kinds of citing scriptures. In the chat area of the island world, the speech will be automatically translated into the corresponding language, and regular communication is not a problem. However, Longo is so broad and profound that even the island world cannot fully convey the meaning. Even so, the popularity of newcomers in other regions is still raging. What? It's too deceiving. However, the center of the topic, Subei, has not emerged from the beginning to the end. The newcomers spent a long time squirting with each other in the chat area, and finally they gradually died down. They roared here for a long time, but there was no second one who became a trainee island owner. Even a lot of unlucky people were beaten and screamed because they focused on keyboard interaction and forgot about the island monsters. The newcomers gradually recovered. Come on. There's still business. The chat area was calm, and there were occasional discussions about how to deal with island monsters. That thing is really hard to beat, a strong one. At this time, Subei was preparing to open the gold-level treasure chest he had obtained. This is good stuff. In the island world, the level of items is strictly divided. Starting from the lowest black iron rank, up to the bronze rank and silver rank, and then the gold rank. The Longian sword in Subei's hand was a low-grade silver, and it was already capable of slashing the iron-armored lizard with one sword. The power of gold-level items is definitely beyond the imagination of ordinary people. Put your hand on the treasure box and open it in your heart. Dazzling golden light filled Subei's entire field of vision, as if a golden mountain appeared in front of him. Get random gold seed X1. Obtain the Earth Spirit Recruitment Scroll X1. Get Magic Field X10. There are a total of 3 items, not many, but the value is high enough to cause a huge sensation in the outside world. Subei began to check one by one. The first is the gold level seed. In the island world, not only monsters have levels, but also seeds. Gold level seeds correspond to gold level crops, which are high-level goods that even experienced island owners may not own. If you get fruit trees, it means a steady stream of income. Put the seed in the palm of your hand, and the relevant attributes appear immediately in front of you. Blood Spirit Fruit Tree Seeds, top-grade gold, can produce blood spirit fruit after maturity, which can increase stamina and lifespan. A simple sentence, but it made Subei's heart beat violently a few times. This thing is priceless. Advertisement Chapter 7 Earth Spirit. No matter what era, no matter what region, The desire for longevity is unavoidable for all human beings. Especially after the island world appeared and entered the era of great exploration, it became more obvious. Because this is really achievable. The island world is mysterious and unpredictable, and the various high-level products in it can effectively improve various attributes of human beings. That includes life expectancy. And these items, without exception, sold for sky-high prices. Even senior island owners who have been in the island world for decades have great demand for these items. They have rich resources and respected status, and they are even more reluctant to die. But now, Subei directly opened the seed of a blood spirit fruit tree from the gold-level treasure chest, and after planting it, it can continuously produce blood spirit fruit. This is a baby that can improve your physique and increase your lifespan. With the blood spirit fruit tree, Subei is like sitting on a cornucopia, and no longer has to worry about money. He can also benefit greatly. Don't forget, he has an entry for killing God, and his basic attributes have been increased tenfold. When the blood spirit fruit matures, he must eat a few. Physical strength will continue to increase, not to mention additional lifespan gains. Subei's eyes became hot as he looked at the seeds of the blood spirit fruit tree. While excited, Subei did not forget to refresh. Although there is no chance to fix it today, if you get a good entry, you can wait until midnight to fix it directly. If the entry doesn't work, swipe it again tomorrow, and then just plant it without waiting. The blood spirit fruit tree is not an ordinary crop. The growth cycle is very long. The sooner it is planted, the better. While thinking about it, Subei thought about refreshing in his heart. 3 orbs of light appear around the seeds of the blood spirit fruit tree. 2 white and 1 blue. There are excellent entries. Subei became more and more delighted, and glanced at the 2 white entries, hard skin, and increased sweetness. No effect, just pass directly. The focus is on the properties of the blue entry: extreme growth, excellent level, reduce the growth time by 50%, and upgrade the item level to the lower platinum level. Take off. As expected of an excellent entry, it directly halved the growth time, and also raised the grade of the blood spirit fruit seeds to the low grade platinum. It's a qualitative leap from gold to platinum. Gold level blood spirit fruit can make the outside world break their heads, and platinum level blood spirit fruit will definitely cause a sensation. Subei immediately made up his mind that he would not refresh the entry after midnight, so he fixed the rapid growth. It's only 6 or 7 hours, so I can wait. But then again, according to the difference of the basic quality of the item, the increase effect of the entry on it is also different. It is also an excellent entry, and the leather armor has soared from ordinary to bronze. However, the seeds of the blood spirit fruit tree were only upgraded from the top grade gold to the low grade platinum. But in the end, it's promotion, and Subei isn't greedy either. Putting the seeds in his pockets, Subei looked at the second item, soil spirit recruitment scroll. Gold low grade. After use, recruit a potential gold low grade earth spirit. They are the best assistants. Another good thing. Subei started out in the sky and couldn't afford high-end items, but he still knew a lot of island information. Among them are all kinds of elemental creatures. The island world is full of a new kind of energy, and countries in the world have different names according to different customs. For example, the Dragon Kingdom calls it aura. Countries such as lighthouses are called magic. In addition, there are also called chakras, all kinds of strange. But no matter what it is called, the core effect of this energy is to catalyze various mysterious creatures. Such as earth spirits. This is an elemental creature composed of clay, with a mild temperament and a certain intelligence. The fighting ability is average, but if you let them farm, that's a top player. As long as the land is handed over to them, they can absolutely take care of it in an orderly manner, without the slightest problem. However, it is extremely difficult to obtain the earth spirit, and only those senior island owners have the opportunity to have it. For example, the apprentice island owner, don't even think about it. You can only rely on yourself to farm the land, or recruit people from Blue Star at a large price. Before, Subei was still thinking about how to develop the island by himself. But now, don't worry at all. Although the recruitment scroll can only get 1 earth spirit, One Earth Spirit can already take care of hundreds of acres of land. And as the level of the Earth Spirit increases, the ability will also become stronger. And what Subei gave. He didn't have to give anything. As long as Tulin is on the island, he can continuously obtain energy replenishment, which can be regarded as a model of the best employee. Subei is excited. The appearance of this thing will make his early development progress much ahead of others. With the Earth Spirits around, Subei can focus on patrolling the island and killing those invading monsters, instead of burying his head in the fields and worrying about the end. The recruitment scroll in hand can also refresh the entry. Then Subei saw 3 white light balls floating. 3 common entries were swiped in one go, and the African Emirates was correct. After thinking about it, Subei decided to use the scroll directly. From the scroll to the Earth Spirit, I think it will reset the refresh opportunity. Because they are not the same item. With the mentality of trying it out, Subei crushed the scroll. Streaming light poured from his fingers to the ground, the soil shook, and a native of about 70 or 80 centimeters tall appeared in front of Subei. Name: Earth Spirit Potential, Gold lower current level, Black Iron lower skills, 1, Farming Proficiency, 2, Earth Element Affinity Loyalty, 100 entry, unlocked, refresh times 1 1. Subei smiled. As he guessed, the refresh chance was indeed reset, and it was refreshed directly. 3 light balls representing different entries appear. Familiar formula: 2 white and 1 blue. The white entries are very outrageous, smiley face, and throwing stones, almost made Subei not come up in one breath. What is this all about? Fortunately, there are blue entries. When he opened it, Subei couldn't stop smiling. Isn't this making money? Advertisement: if you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 8: Secondary Splitting and Stereo Detection. Secondary Split. Excellent level. Creates a split body with 40% of its own attributes every day. This entry does not improve the quality of the Earth Spirit. Subei guessed that it might have something to do with the Earth Spirit. It is more difficult to upgrade. No matter if the quality remains the same, it is still the elemental life of middle grade gold. And is absolutely faithful to himself. In the early stage of island development, it was a great help. Perhaps after the island's area is increased, he will gradually lose his strength. After all, Subei has only obtained 1 Earth Spirit. But that is in the past tense. This excellent entry in front of him allows Subei to continuously obtain the Earth Spirit. Although it is only a split body with 40% attributes, it cannot hold a large number. This kind of Earth Spirit split body, even if a single person can only take care of a dozen or 20 acres of land, it is completely sufficient. After all, you get one every day, and over time, it will be very impressive. If Subei's island expansion isn't fast enough, it might leave these Earth Spirit splintered bodies doing nothing. Subei smiled happily. During this process, the Earth Spirit kept standing still, and there was no extra movement. After a while, Subei put away his smile and said to Tu Ling, "You can understand me?" Tu Ling nodded. Although it was not midnight yet, the secondary split could not be fixed, but it did not prevent the Earth Spirits from devoting themselves to work. The Blood Spirit fruit seeds are waiting for a fixed entry and cannot be moved, but the ground can be turned up first. Packing all the supplies into the backpack, Subei clenched the dragon sword and walked towards the middle of the island with the Earth Spirit. He wants to determine the initial reclamation area and let the Earth Spirits act. At the same time, put the heart of the island back underground and start absorbing energy. After the heart of the island is bound, it is activated and cannot leave the island for a long time, and is usually buried in the ground. The residence of the island owner is built on it to protect it to the greatest extent. Thinking of this, Subei took out the heart of the island from his pocket. He forgot to refresh the entry for this thing. Although it can't be fixed, the opportunity to refresh the prostitution can't be wasted. 1 white, 1 blue and 1 purple. Subei was startled. An epic entry appeared again. As expected of the Super God entry system, The probability of this shipment is really high. He hasn't played much yet. He's about to be supernatural. The name of the super god is well deserved. The white entry is defense improvement, which is useful, but not very useful. After all, the enemy has touched the heart of the island. To improve a little defense is nothing more than holding on for a second or two more. The impact on the overall situation is better than nothing. The entry in cyan is jump. This is a bit interesting, so that the heart of the island can jump within a certain distance to avoid being directly exploded, thereby losing the identity of the island owner. But like the defense boost, this thing is tasteless. Sube also didn't pay attention to these two entries. There are epic level entries, and when the brain is exhausted, I will choose the ordinary level and the excellent level. 3-dimensional detection, epic, stimulates invisible waves to flood the island, locks the position of the intruder, and informs the island owner of his position. This entry. To say the biggest surprise today, Sube thinks it has to be the stereo detection. Even the rapid growth of the blood spirit fruit seeds and the secondary division of the earth spirit are not worth 1/10 of this entry. Whether it is a trainee island owner or a senior island owner, the most troublesome issue is always island defense. Those enemies in the deep sea will invade the island from various locations and times. If it is not discovered at the first time, it may cause great harm. Destroyed crops are still good, but if the island owner is accidentally attacked, the fun will be great. This has never happened in the past. The new island owner with a bright future, because he missed a monster who is proficient in lurking, the heart of the island was destroyed, and he lost his identity as the island owner, and he has completely sunk since then. Sube has also worried about this issue before. But he didn't have a good solution either. Fortunately, he obtained the earth spirit, and he was able to free himself from labor and focus on patrolling. Even so, I dare not say that it is foolproof. But now, after the entry of stereo detection, there is no need to worry about being attacked. No matter what type of monsters they are, no matter where they come from, as long as they land on the island, Sube will be notified immediately, and then he can take the dragon sword and chop melons and vegetables. With his current combat power, any monsters come for nothing. This entry must be fixed. Sube thought about it. The resources he has now are the extreme growth of the seeds of the blood spirit fruit tree, the secondary split of the earth spirit, and the 3-dimensional detection of the heart of the island. These 3 entries are needed. Stable. Even if it was midnight, the entry refresh opportunity was reset, and he didn't want to refresh it. Although above the excellent level and the epic level, there are the legendary level and the mythical level. But on the other hand, there are 3 or 4 levels below. If you get bad entries, you will lose blood. Now is the early stage of island development, and no resources can be wasted. These 3 entries may not be the strongest, but they are definitely the most suitable for the current situation. And the system also said that at this stage, only 1 entry can be fixed for the target. This also means that new entries can be added in the future. I feel that the existing entries are not enough, and then I will refresh them slowly. But at this stage, the development of the island must be formalized. While thinking about it, Sube and the earth spirit came to the central area of the island and chose a suitable place to bury the heart of the island in the soil. Sube immediately felt a whole new force coming towards him. There is a unique connection between him and the island. Sube nodded secretly, looked at the earth spirit, and said, "Turn over the surrounding land, and plant these seeds." 2. Ling took the seed and left quickly. What Sube gave were the plant seeds he brought from Blue Star, some low-value crops, and he didn't want to renew them, so he just kept planting them. So early, harvest early. Then, Sube took out the last reward of the treasure chest from his backpack. Magic Field. Advertisement. Chapter 9 Magic Field and Batch Refresh. The magic field opened from the golden treasure chest is temporarily inactive and is a contract-style parchment. Magic Field, Gold Low Grade. Convert 1 acre of land into a magic field, reduce the growth time of crops by 30%, and increase the yield by 30%. Sube has 10 such contracts. In other words, he can own 10 acres of high-yield magic fields. Reducing the growth time can also increase the output. This is the same acre of land, and the output of the magic field is almost twice that of ordinary land. Used to grow high-value crops, the effect is better. For example, the blood spirit fruit tree, combined with its own extreme growth entry, can sprout and grow in the fastest time. It used to take several years to bloom and bear fruit, but now a year or two is enough. Coupled with other catalytic items, Subei will harvest the first batch of blood spirit fruits in the shortest time. There is even hope that it will happen within a few months. That's when he really took off. Those island owners who want to live a few more years will eagerly curry favor with him, take out the treasures that have been treasured for a long time, and exchange the blood spirit fruit in his hands. The benefits are limitless. Good thing. This magic field contract is definitely a good thing. And this isn't over yet. A smile appeared on the corner of Subei's mouth. He hasn't refreshed yet. But before the refresh, Subei couldn't help but be a little worried. 10 magic field contracts, even if good entries are written, it will take several days to fix them all. If there are other entries that need to be fixed in this process, it will be delayed again. It's always a hassle. Fortunately, at the critical moment, the system stood up again. Ding! Items with the same name are detected. Do you want to refresh them in batches? This brand new vocabulary made Subei energized and asked, "System, what is batch refresh?" The system replied, "For items of the same type, the entries can be refreshed individually, or they can be treated as a whole and refreshed together. Please note that if you use batch refresh, when the entry is fixed, it will not be able to be separated." Subei suddenly realized that was the case. Overall, this feature has pros and cons. The advantage is that it saves trouble. Whether it is 10 magic field contracts or 100, all of them will be refreshed with a swipe. This is definitely the perfect choice for lazy people. But this also has a downside, that is, it is possible to miss the top entries. To know that if the 10 magic field contracts are refreshed individually, there are a total of 30 alternative entries. A mythical one might appear. Of course, the probability of such a top-level entry is extremely low. Subei was already lucky enough to obtain the entry for killing gods, and it would be very difficult to obtain the entry for mythology. But there is always an idea. If these contracts are refreshed in batches, the total number of candidate entries will change from 30 to 3. Although it is said that if you want to obtain advanced entries, you cannot solve it by the number alone. It's like drawing a card. There is no difference between a person who taps the back 10 times and 100 times. But pumping more is always right. It's just that the current situation does not allow Subei to wait so leisurely. Although he was the first to become a trainee island owner, this was just the beginning. In the rookie stage, the island world will evaluate the rankings once a month, and the top ones can get rich rewards. The reward for the first place is a gold-level treasure chest. Subei has driven it before, knowing the high value of this thing, which is coveted by senior island owners. He has a good start now, and naturally he is going to speed up and consolidate his advantages. Then start snowballing. There is a total of 1 year for the newcomer period, until the newcomer enters the island world next year, and a total of 12 rankings will be assessed. If you can take the first place every time, then the 12 golden treasure chests that are rewarded alone can make a huge profit for Subei's island. The value is not less than tens of billions of funds. Not even more than that. After all, the things that are opened in the golden treasure chest cannot be bought with money. Subei's eyes firm. Just use batch refresh. The magic field must be put into use as soon as possible without delay. He will not only challenge this month's Rookie King, but also the annual Rookie King. The island world has a laurel crown, the Supreme Newcomer King. Only the island owner who has won the top of the monthly rookie list 12 times in a row is eligible to receive that honor. The corresponding reward is a diamond-level treasure chest. However, the island world has been around for 100 years, and there are only a handful of island owners who have obtained the Supreme Rookie King, and they can be counted on one hand. Lighthouse Country, Washington; White Bear Country, Ekaterina; Neverset Sun, Elizabeth; Kangaroo Country, Poseidon. The names of these 4 are all kept in mind by all the island owners. Because they have heard too many stories. And Subei's goal is to become the 5th Supreme Rookie King. With the Super God entry system in hand, he has this confidence. Concentrating his mind, Subei looked at the magic field contract in his hand and gave an order in his heart. Batch. Refresh. Advertisement. Chapter 10 Prostitute 10 acres of magic fields, 3 alternative entries, 2 white common and 1 green rare. One is yield enhancement, and the other is growth promotion. Looking at the name is very good, but the increase effect is too low, only 1%. The addition of this entry is equivalent to not adding it. But when Subei saw the rare entry, he immediately smiled. Well, don't wait for midnight to refresh. Just fix this entry. Double area, rare level, double the effect area. Simple attributes did not improve the quality of the magic field contract. But the meaning behind it is that Subei nodded again and again with satisfaction. Originally, there were only 10 acres of magic fields, but because of the double area entry, it was directly doubled to 20 acres. What is this concept? This rare entry is equivalent to buying 10 magic field contracts for nothing. Even just growing potatoes and cabbage can bring huge benefits to Subei. Turn. Flying cool. With this entry, even if Subei had 2 blue entries, he didn't want to change it. After several refreshes, Subei has figured out the basic principles of the entry. The right one is the best. The system is already very face-saving, and the candidate entries that are swiped each time are related to the target. At least for high-value items. Subei is also not greedy. The existing entries are so suitable. Why bother to refresh more advanced entries? Not to mention the question of whether you can get it. Even if you get it, you don't know. It's a matter of the year of the monkey and the month of the horse. In case there are more entries that look good but the actual effect of pulling the crotch, it is simply a blood loss. The current entries, Subei thinks are pretty good. Putting the magic field contract back into the backpack, Subei stretched his muscles and bones, looking at the earth spirit who was turning the ground, and was amazed. As expected of an elemental creature, the way of turning the ground is completely different from that of humans. Subei turned the ground and needed to borrow a hoe. But the earth spirit doesn't need it. It doesn't even need to do it. Just stand there and walk forward, and the surrounding land will automatically roll over. Cultivation is proficient and the earth element affinity is so terrifying that it is simply magic. Taking advantage of the earth spirit's effort to turn the ground, Subei quickly set up a simple tent and placed it above the heart of the island. For the next time, he didn't go anywhere, just waited here. When midnight falls, the number of fixed entries is reset, and the stereoscopic detection entry is fixed, and he can rest in peace. Judging from the sky, it is now evening. The sea breeze blew in and ruffled Subei's hair. Looking around the entire island, Subei felt proud. This is what he made. At this time, Subei saw the coconut trees on the beach, and an idea suddenly popped up in his heart. He greeted Tu Ling, pointed at the coconut trees and asked, "Can you get those trees here?" Tu Ling only had vague facial features, but he also knew what Subei was referring to. After calculating for a while, he nodded, indicating that there was no problem. Subei pointed to another corner and said, "Then move there." Although these few coconut trees are just common varieties, they are still productive. If nothing else, it's good to have 2 coconuts to quench your thirst. If he stayed on the edge of the island, he might be knocked over by the invading monsters at some point, so he might as well move closer. The soil spirit led the way, and soon returned with the coconut tree. The way it moves the coconut tree is very special. It gathers the soil around the roots of the tree, and then translates it all the way, which is very efficient. In just 5 minutes, the coconut tree appeared in the corner dozens of meters away. Afterwards, Tu Ling continued to turn the ground, and Subei secretly gave a thumbs up with his diligent look. This little brother is so sweet. After a short rest, Subei remembered that he was patronizing the entry, and even forgot the functions of the island world. It can be used directly by the mark on the back of the hand, which is very convenient. Immerse yourself in it, and Subei has several options in front of him. Personal information, newcomer chat area, transaction area. This is a function that comes with the island world. Subei first clicks on personal information. Name, Subei identity, trainee island master level, not advanced skill, no equipment, dragon blade, wind leather armor. Island area, 1 square kilometer number of residents, 1 island rating, 0.5 stars. Simple and even rudimentary property panels. The only thing Sube cares about is that he already has the entry for killing gods, but he is still not in the advanced level. However, Sube also knows that the level of the island owner is closely related to the development of the island. Simply put, the higher the rating of the island, the stronger the feedback to the island owner. Sube's island doesn't even have a 1-star rating. In the calculation system of the island world, no awards will be given. The previous 3 entries were fixed. Sube was strengthening his own combat power, not an island. This is a slight disadvantage in the rating. But that's not a big deal either. According to so many years of exploration experience, as long as the rating of the island reaches 10 stars, the level of the island owner will be automatically upgraded. It is not difficult to think. He is systematic. Also, the fact that there is a level display or not makes no difference to Sube. The previous ironclad lizards were serious black iron monsters. Not even slashed to death. Sube's paper level is not advanced, but his real strength is almost like the top of black iron. There is no need to worry about the level. As long as the island develops, it will rise very quickly. After receiving the award from the island world, combined with his killing god entry, the combat power will be extremely terrifying. No matter what kind of monster, as long as it dares to land on his island, it will never come back. Before Hamei's mood subsided, Sube heard a beeping sound from the communicator. Blue Star has news. Advertisement Chapter 11 Delivering charcoal in the snow. After entering the island world, communication will be blocked. Until the heart of the island is bound, the connection between the 2 worlds will be reopened. Coupled with the signal delay here, Sube was busy before he received the message. When I opened it, it was sent by the head teacher. Legion. Sube, I heard from the principal that you are the first to become a trainee island owner this year. Congratulations, I knew you would make it. I think when you first entered the class, I felt that you were not an ordinary person. This time, the message was too long. Sube didn't read it all at once. But in a nutshell, first of all congratulations, and then ask him when he will return to Blue Star. The school has prepared a scholarship, and he needs to get it. Between Legion's words, it was revealed that the amount of scholarship that number 5 middle school prepared this time was quite large. Sube was instantly moved. Although he has a system, he is essentially poor and white. If he cannot maintain his advantage, he may be overtaken by the second generation of those islands. This scholarship comes at just the right time. In addition to the school's scholarship, Sube estimates that Zyke, where he is located, will also give awards. This time, he became the first trainee island owner and received a notification and commendation from the island world, which was a huge honor. Going big, it gave Longo a big fight. The newcomers who entered the island world in recent years, the first to become apprentice island owners, were from other regions. Longo has not had such a high-profile moment for several years. On the small side, Sube's reputation is there, which will also help Zyke to attract talents in the future. The city lord of the West City has to thank him. It is conceivable that as long as Sube returns to Blue Star, he will definitely be rewarded. At that time, his island could develop faster. Not to mention, the land reclaimed by the Earth Spirit can be planted. Although I brought some seeds over before, but the number was too small. With the efficiency of the Earth Spirit, all the seeds could be sown in 2 minutes. The rest of the land can never be emptied. And Sube still has 10 magic field contract scrolls waiting to be used after the entry is fixed. If you don't grow some rare crops on it, you will be sorry for the value of the magic field. As for these things, Sube was still thinking about where to get them, but now the problem is solved, and it is estimated that it will fall on various rewards. Thinking of this, Sube decisively sent a message back to Legion. Mr. Lee, I will go back to Blue Star tomorrow after becoming a trainee island owner. Returning to Blue Star will not be punished. If you leave early without binding the heart of the island, it will be regarded as giving up your authority, and you will no longer be able to become the island owner. And going back and forth between Blue Star and Island World is also very simple. The mark on the back of the hand can be done, and the whole process is very fast. At the other end, Li Jian was eating with his rice bowl. He was in a good mood and added a dish to himself. Unexpectedly, unexpectedly, the students in his class became the first trainee island owner this year, and won the notification and commendation from the island world. At that time, Li Jian couldn't believe it. He is not the owner of the island, so he cannot see the information of the island world. It was only after the principal informed him that he found out about it. Recalling the previous scene, Li Jian was so excited that he couldn't hold his job. At that time, the principal smiled and patted him on the shoulder, and said to him earnestly, "Li, the Dean of Education is going to retire next year. I think you are very suitable." Li Jian knew that all this was brought by Su Bei. Dean, that was something I never dared to think about before. Li Jian, who was immersed in a beautiful fantasy, heard the sound of the communicator, and immediately slapped his rice bowl on the table and took it out tremblingly. It must be Su Bei. After clicking on it, the short words made Li Jian jump up with excitement, and then he didn't care about eating, so he rushed out to find the principal. Although time is a little tight, things have to be done well. This year's first apprentice island master is back. This is a big event, and we need to publicize it. Naturally, Su Bei didn't know a piece of information about himself, and directly made number 5 middle school busy. After returning the message, he shoved the communicator into his pocket, then clicked on the newcomer chat area in the island world and dived in it. It has been a while since he became a trainee island owner. But so far no new notification has appeared. Su Bei couldn't help muttering, "Is this year's newcomer so good? It's been so long that he hasn't killed the monster to get the heart of the island." That is, the other newcomers don't know what Su Bei is thinking, otherwise they have to swim over and beat him up. "You boy, standing and talking doesn't hurt your back. Are island monsters so easy to kill? Their skins are as thick as steel plates, and they are extremely powerful. If they are accidentally hit, they may die on the spot. Not to mention killing island monsters, it is good luck not to be killed. Since the arrival of these newcomers to the present, in less than an hour, many people have already died. This can be seen from the total number of people in the chat area. Is decreasing. Of course, some of them gave up on their own initiative, but more of them died in the mouths of monsters. And those who are still alive will have nothing to do with island monsters for a while. Even the second generation of those islands, limited by the total amount of materials they carry, are quite a headache. In addition to complaining about the difficulty of killing monsters in the chat area, many newcomers are questioning Su Bei, thinking that he must be cheating when he becomes the first apprentice island owner. Su Bei resolutely took a small notebook and wrote down the names of those people. The next time I meet, I will definitely not have their good fruit to eat. After pouring water in the chat area for a moment, Su Bei backed out and started to make a fire and grill the meat instead. The fight is over, the adrenaline wears off, and the hunger strikes again. Fortunately, the meat of the ironclad lizards is not poisonous and can be eaten, which can be regarded as a solution for urgent needs. After fixing the previous entry for killing gods, Su Bei had a big appetite and killed all the rations he was carrying. If it weren't for this iron-armored lizard, I'd be hungry tonight. After eating and drinking, Su Bei patrolled around with the dragon Yun sword. After finally waiting until midnight, Su Bei received the system prompt on time. Ding. The fixed number of entries has been reset. Advertisement. Chapter 12. Fix the entry again, the raiding sword. In the dark night, Su Bei's mood was fiery, and his eyes glowed brightly. But here comes the problem. Among the resources he has now, there are 4 entries that need to be fixed. But now there are only 3 fixed times. After thinking for a while, Su Bei decided to set aside the entries for Earth Spirit first, and fix the entries for Blood Spirit, Fruit Tree Seeds, Magic Field and Island Heart first. No matter how the other 2 change, the stereo detection entry in Heart of the Island has the highest priority. This is related to the safety of the island. And tomorrow Su Bei will go back to Blue Star to get the scholarship. During the time he left the island was basically undefended. But if there is a 3-dimensional detection, he will receive a notification as soon as a monster strikes, and he can send it back directly. To let the enemy know what cruelty is with the Longian knife in your hand. Aside from the fixed entry of Island Heart, the remaining 2 fixed chances must be to choose 2 of the 3 rewards in the golden treasure chest. If it is further subdivided, in fact, the seed of the blood spirit fruit tree and the magic field are bound together. Use both at the same time to maximize the benefits. As for the secondary division of the earth spirit, although there will be one less division one day later, the farming ability of the earth spirit body is temporarily sufficient, and even overflows. A day late is no big deal. After determining the plan, Subei began to fix the entries. The first is the heart of the island. After removing the dirt on the surface, Subei hit his spirit on the stereo detection entry. Fixed. Ding. The entry has been fixed. At the moment when the entry was fixed, Subei felt that his thoughts diverged. In his field of vision, a 3-dimensional image of the island appeared, and he could not hide any trouble. On the beach to the east, a few small crabs were swaying from side to side by the waves. Under the sea to the north, 2 fish, one big and one small, are playing fast and furious, shuttling among the reefs. In addition, there are also the south and west sides, and all the movements can be seen. Subei was a little uncomfortable at first, but as soon as he got the hang of it, he fell in love with the feeling of being in control. On this island, he is the supreme being. Subei, who was immersed in stereoscopic detection, heard the announcement of the island world. Your island rating has been improved, and it is currently 5 stars. This is a personal announcement for the island owner, and other newcomers don't know about it, otherwise new discussions will have to be set off. What are they doing? They are still struggling with the island monsters. Why is this newcomer named Subei? The island rating jumped a bit, from 0.5 to 5, which is outrageous. And Subei was surprised inside. According to previous management, even if you become a trainee island owner, without large-scale farming, the island rating cannot be improved. To upgrade to a 5-star rating, even the second generation of the island will have to spend a lot of effort. But now, just by fixing the stereo detection entry, there is such a performance, which makes Subei feel the power of the system. Subei was suddenly a little depressed. As a trainee island owner, it was a pity that he was not included in the island rating. Otherwise, with his current physical fitness, he cannot directly raise the rating by 2 grades. Smacking his lips regretfully, Subei put the matter behind him. Then, his eyes turned to the blood spirit fruit tree seeds and the magic field contract. Fixed. Ding. The entry has been fixed. Ding. The entry has been fixed. 2 system prompts sounded one after another, and the seeds and parchment in his hand immediately changed greatly, and what was visible to the naked eye became noble in his hand. Especially the seeds of the blood spirit fruit tree. There was even a faint red mist floating around, and the fragrant smell shot straight into the nose, making Subei refreshed. Just smelling it has this effect, and if you eat it, it will definitely prolong your life. But Subei also knew that this was a seed, it was used for planting, and it could not be eaten for immediate gain. Holding the blood spirit fruit tree seeds and the magic field contract, Subei walked to the edge of the cultivated land. Tulane is already waiting. After activating the magic field contract, Subei's field of vision was raised. After defining a suitable area with a dotted circle, the parchment in his hand turned into a streamer and disappeared into the soil. Your island rating has been improved, and it is currently 8 stars. Subei kept moving, handing the blood spirit fruit tree seeds to the earth spirit. It couldn't be clearer where this stuff would fit. The earth spirit lived up to expectations, walking back and forth on the transformed magic field with the seeds, and finally stood still in the central area. The soil tumbled, and a deep pit appeared, and the earth spirit carefully put the seeds of the blood spirit fruit tree into it, and the action was full of piety. For the earth spirit, the seed of the blood spirit fruit tree is equivalent to a sacred object. No matter how important it is, your island rating has been improved, and it is currently 12 stars. Another announcement sounded, and Subei felt a pure force falling from the sky, covering the entire island. The soil became more fertile, and the surrounding waves became calmer. Most importantly, Subei could sense that his body was being strengthened. When the island rating reaches 10 stars, the island world will reward the island owner and upgrade the level. Now, Subei is going through this process. At the same time, the newcomer chat area also exploded. As the only name on the newcomer's island rating list, Subei's island rating jumped 3 levels from 0.5 stars to 12 stars in a short period of time, sparking heated discussions among other newcomers. Advertisement Chapter 13 Black Iron Subordinates. The fixed number of entries increases. Asangonaru, why is that newcomer so fierce? Did he steal holy water? Bangtsai Country Parkren, what holy water? It's obviously poison. I drank it once and pulled it straight to Dehydration Fusion Kingdom. Nikawatsun Azaka, did you notice that there are residents on the island of Subei Lighthouse Country? Tom, I know how he became a trainee island owner. The sun never sets. Richard, I seem to know that too. That cunning man from the Dragon Kingdom must have Aboriginal people on his island, and he provoked a battle between monsters and Aboriginal people, so he picked up a bargain. Kangaroo Country. Lou, it's really enviable. No, it's disgusting. The noble Kangaroo Country will not use such despicable means. The general guess of other newcomers is that in addition to monsters, the initial island where Subei came to also had Aboriginal people, and then they fought, and finally Subei took advantage and became the first apprentice island owner. This situation is not impossible. It has appeared before. As for the Aboriginal people of the island, this involves the secrecy of the island world. In the island world, monsters are not the only ones. Exactly, not all living things are hostile to humans. In fact, the island world is very prosperous and there are many races, some of which are close to humans. However, they basically live in the deep sea and are rarely seen at ordinary times. The island owners encountered all kinds of monsters. They coveted the heart of the island and would keep coming. In addition to fighting the island owner, the monsters that invaded the island would also fight against the Aborigines of the island world. Other newcomers suspect that this is what happened to Subei. At the same time of envy, jealousy and hatred, Subei is no longer regarded as the primary competitor. A newcomer who steps on shit luck, nothing to worry about. Although he became the first trainee island owner, he won the award from the island world. But this is not the end, on the contrary, only the beginning. Since entering the island world, it has entered the newcomer period. A month later, according to the island rating, the monthly Rookie King will be rated. The newcomer named Subei became the first apprentice island owner through trickery, but the development of the island does not depend on trickery. As you can imagine, he will soon disappear from the crowd. This view is very marketable, and many newcomers are willing to believe it. Especially the newcomers in the Lighthouse Country and other regions are advocating with all their strength. They are going to crush Subei on the fishing reels. And Subei didn't care about that. He didn't even bother to speak in the chat area. However, Subei didn't respond, and the other Dragon Kingdom rookies were very active, jumping out one after another, twisting into a ball, and lining up with the rookies from other regions. The two sides interacted wildly in the newcomer chat area. For the newcomers of Longo, Subei is his own and must support him. Newcomers in other regions smear him, which is smearing the Dragon Kingdom, and his heart can be punished. The two sides you come and go, it is very lively. At this time, Subei, after experiencing the energy infusion of the island world, also received a notification from the island world. Your level has been raised. The current level of black iron is lower. Subei said in his heart that this upgrade is not easy. He has the killing god entry and his basic attributes have been increased tenfold, but the result is that he is not recognized by the island world, and his level is set at not advanced. Closing his eyes to perceive his own state, Subei smiled with satisfaction. As expected of the island world, while letting him level up, all attributes have been greatly improved. With the increase in the killing god entry, his current strength has almost doubled. If you encounter the previous ironclad lizard again, standing still and letting the opponent attack, it will not necessarily break the skin. And the surprises don't stop there. Just after the announcement of the island world ended, the system appeared again. Ding! The level of the host increases, and the number of daily entries is increased by 1. The joy brought by the system prompts is far better than the energy infusion of the island world. No matter how high the level and how strong the power is, it doesn't make much sense not to fight with monsters. Power is nowhere to be found. And one more entry: fixed opportunity every day. The benefits are tangible and visible. After a few disappearances, he will return to Blue Star, and he will bring back a lot of development materials. This extra fixed number of entries comes at the right time and will further consolidate Subei's advantage. A monthly Rookie King and even the Supreme Rookie King, he is going to make a decision. Subei calmed down and asked, "System, are these extra times taking effect? Can I fix the entry for Earth Spirit?" The system replied affirmatively, "Yes." The style of the system is always concise and clear, and Subei didn't care. He was used to it. Then he looked at the Earth Spirit, who was still turning the ground, and issued a summoning order. Tu Ling immediately slid back and waited for instructions. Subei looked at the entry light ball around it and found, "Secondary split. Fixed." Ding, the entry has been fixed. Originally, Subei thought that after the secondary split entry was fixed, it would take 24 hours to obtain the first split. As a result, under his gaze, the body of the Earth Spirit shook for a while, and some fragments fell, which were mixed in the soil. The gap in the Earth Spirit was quickly filled. And those falling fragments also stood up with the soil on the ground. The overall shape is the same as the Earth Spirit, only much smaller. The height of the Earth Spirit is 70 or 80 centimeters, while the newly emerged split body is only about 30 centimeters in height, and it looks weak. However, Subei can feel that the small body of the split body contains very pure energy and is full of vitality. Your island rating has been improved, and it is currently 12.1 stars. The announcement sounded in his ears, which surprised Subei. Splits even counted in the rating. This was a real surprise. Advertisement Chapter 14 Return to Blue Star. After fixing the entry of the Earth Spirit, Subei immediately gained a new younger brother. Although it is small, it also has 40% of the attributes of the Earth Spirit. Turning the ground for sowing is a no-brainer. In addition, it can bring a little new vitality to the monotonous island without being too monotonous. Due to the existence of the system, it is impossible for Subei to let other humans land on the island. Not in the short term at least. For a long time, he will be alone on the island to develop and fight invading monsters. It will drive you crazy over time. The extra Earth Spirit split body can relieve his mental pressure. It's nice to have a small pet. At the same time, the newcomer chat area was shocked again. At this time, Subei was still the only one who became the trainee island owner. On the open island rating list, when the Earth Spirit splitter appeared, his data also changed in real time. Of course, the information displayed by the island world is limited, and it will not expose Subei's family background. Only 3 pieces of information are displayed on the list: island area, number of residents, and island rating. Seeing that Subei's island residents have changed from 1 to 2, the island rating has also risen by 0.1 stars, and other newcomers have started to make trouble again. Bangtsai Kingdom Piaoren. According to our scholarly research, Subei is an exiled citizen of our Bangtsai Kingdom Fusion Kingdom, Nichuan Tsunazaka, 8 Ga. You fart. Lighthouse Country Tom, pay attention to the quality. But why is this happening? Why is there an inexplicable island resident Lighthouse Country Jerry? Don't you understand? It must be the aboriginal who called the tribe here before Maple Leaf Country. Great, the upstairs is right. I agree. The newcomers talked a lot, and suddenly felt that the situation was not right. This is also shaking people? And they are still aboriginal people of the island world. Dare to be a little more outrageous. Doesn't it mean that the lucky guy named Subei might get a steady stream of support? Although the aborigines of the island world are of different shapes, they have innate advantages that humans do not have. They generally have special abilities. After all, he grew up in the island world, which is normal. These aborigines have a huge beneficial effect on the development of the island. For example, the Earth Spirit obtained by Subei is actually one of the aborigines of the island world. It's just that the number is scarce, and it is usually difficult to find. and can only rely on recruitment scrolls. But an Earth spirit has been able to free Subei from the heavy work and can focus on island defense. The strength of these aborigines is evident in the eyes of other newcomers. It was nothing that Subei took advantage of being a trainee island owner. When tens of millions of newcomers arrive, there will always be luck. However, if he can continuously acquire the aborigines of the island world, then the meaning is completely different. Many newcomers suddenly felt the need to re-evaluate Subei's strength. Maybe he wasn't just lucky. Having said that, what is the origin of the aborigines, he added, so that one can increase the rating of the island by 0.1, and this quality must be at least bronze level or above. There was a lot of discussion in the outside world, but Subei was calm. After planning the digging area for the Earth Spirit and its splinter buddies, Subei fell asleep. I have to go back to Blue Star tomorrow. After a night of silence, at 7 in the morning, Subei woke up on time. Subei slept soundly, but was a little lost, without receiving the news of the monster invasion. He also wanted to try the effect of three-dimensional detection, but the monster didn't give face, so he didn't come. Subei-kun has a supreme power and has nowhere to vent. He is very depressed, but there is nothing he can do. He can't jump into the sea to find monsters. After cleaning up and washing up, Subei turned on the communicator, and Li Jian's news arrived just in time. Li Jian, Subei, are you awake? We are ready here, you can come over at any time. The teleportation coordinates are XXXX. XXXX. Subei replied with a message. Arrive in half an hour, then start the barbecue. The ironclad lizards killed yesterday can still eat a meal. After eating and drinking, Subei connected his consciousness to the mark on the back of his hand and found the teleportation option. Enter the coordinates sent by Li Jian, and the location is displayed. It is the 5th middle school. After confirming that nothing was wrong, Subei activated the teleportation. The light flashed, and his body disappeared in place. The next second appeared in the 5th. Surrounded by Li Jian, who had been waiting for a long time, and the principal who came with him. After a brief cold session, the atmosphere warmed up. There was a burst of commercial praise, and Subei was praised as unique in the world. Then everyone moved to the conference room. As Subei's head teacher, Li Jian acted as a middleman and said, Subei, there will be a press conference later. It won't take too long, just 10 minutes. What do you think? Subei pondered for a moment, then smiled. No problem. There is such an out. In fact, in Subei's expectations. Longuoadu has not had the first apprentice island owner for several years, let alone a small place like Zai. As for number 5 middle school, it has never been seen since the establishment of the school. If you don't seize the opportunity to publicize it, you may not have the opportunity in the future. The leaders who want to come to the school also want to use Subei's fame to advertise, recruit more high-quality students in the coming year, and bring more sponsorships along the way. Subei didn't object to that either. He knew that number 5 middle school would definitely not treat him badly. As long as you say a few lines according to the draft, you can get a huge scholarship, no matter how you calculate it. It is not a loss. Seeing Subei agree, the principal and others smiled. This student can do it. Next to the principal, a middle-aged man stood up and said, Hello, Island Lord Su, let me introduce myself. I am from the City Lord's mansion. This time, I came here to congratulate you. Subei immediately replied, Actually, my achievement today is inseparable from the cultivation of Zai. Upon hearing this, the official of the City Lord's mansion smiled. This young man is very good. Advertisement. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 15 Dragon Country Special Team. This time back, Subei had anticipated the arrangements of Li Jian and others. The press conference was to be expected. How could the principal miss this kind of face showing? It's not just about fame, it's about real interests. In the old times, there were still distinctions between famous schools and ordinary schools, and it was even more so after entering the era of island exploration. And now the difference is even bigger. The island world is not only related to the rights and interests of the island owner, but also to the balance of power of Blue Star. With the continuous transportation of the output of the island world to Blue Star, the problem of lack of materials has been alleviated. But new problems also came. The right to speak in the new era. Although the center of gravity of various countries is biased towards the island world, the Blue Star site cannot be lost. The only way to defend your position is to be strong. In the era of great exploration, the island owner is the core of the world. Whether it is in Blue Star or island world. Even if it is 1 in 10,000 who can become the top island owner, there are only a handful of people. Their influence on Blue Star is unimaginable to outsiders. For example, Blue Star's military strength has now changed. In addition to nuclear weapons, the number of superhumans is also an important factor. This kind of power beyond the conventional, the deterrent power is no less than that of nuclear weapons, and even better. They come as soon as they want, and they leave as they want. There is no extraordinary person of the same level as them, so they can't stop them. The birth of the extraordinary is inseparable from the various treasures of the island world. To put it deeper, it is the top island owner. Only they can get those rare treasures. Although Sube is only a trainee island owner, it is hard to say whether he can become a real island owner. But after all, it is the first successful one this year, and it must be better than those newcomers who are still fighting monsters. Such talents are graduated from the 5th middle school. It is foreseeable that the fame of number 5 middle school will not only spread in Zai, but the entire Dragon Kingdom will know it. How many students sharpened their heads and squeezed and even the education department will allocate resources in the hope that number 5 middle school can train a new person like Sube. And implicitly speaking, this is also showing goodwill to Sube. Brush your sense of existence first, and if something really happens later, you can talk. After all, Sube has lived in 2 generations, and the twists and turns here can be seen at a glance. But he was not disgusted. The greater the income of Wazong and Zai, the more rewards he can get. It's a win-win. While thinking about it, a group of people walked in from the door of the conference room with extraordinary momentum. With Sube's current strength, it is natural to be able to perceive that the other party is not an ordinary person. They are extraordinary. After the group came in, there was no additional action, and they lined up to stand by. Afterwards, a man who looked like a captain stepped forward and said, "Island Master Su, we are the Dragon Country Special Team, and my name is Zi Liangping. This time I am here to congratulate you on being the first apprentice Island Master this year. For a young talent like you, Jun Longo has always attached great importance to it." Su Bei immediately stood up in awe, stood up and said, "It turned out to be the Special Affairs Team. I have been looking forward to it for a long time. I almost know your purpose, but there will be a press conference soon, and I will talk about it when I come back. How about it?" Zi Liangping, the leader of the Special Affairs Team, smiled warmly. It should be like this. When the two were talking, the principal of number 5 middle school and the City Lord's Mentions Affairs officer were watching their hearts and minds, sitting upright. To be honest, with the authority of the Special Task Force, these people are really nothing. The only one who can talk on an equal footing is Sube. Everyone looked at Sube with envy in their eyes. Becoming an island owner, even a trainee island owner, is extremely respected. It's a pity that they were eliminated many years ago and are no longer qualified to become island owners. But compared to those who died in the island world, they were much luckier. Everyone's thoughts were different, and they were talking about the scene. Afterwards, Sube went to the conference site surrounded by the crowd. After giving an impassioned speech, he received warm applause. On the way back, Sube wondered who wrote the speech just now, and it was quite literary. After the things on the scene are done, the next step is the reward. The principal of number 5 middle school took out the pennant that had already been prepared, as well as several large boxes. "Island Master Su, there are 5 million worth of supplies here. The time is tight, and it is too late to prepare too many things, so take more care. In addition to the necessary high-energy culture medium, there are also black iron grade moonlight vine and sunflower seeds. Su Bei cupped his hands and said with a smile, "Thank you for your kindness, Principal. These supplies came at just the right time." The principal stepped aside, and the city lord's mention official came over. Still the pennants and boxes. But the box is much smaller. But Su Bei knew that what was inside was more valuable. The affairs officer said, "Islander Su, this is a material worth tens of millions. Considering that the island's lack of manpower is not easy to develop in the early stage, the city master has specially prepared a recruitment scroll. But you also know that it is not easy to deal with, so I prepared it for you. There are only bronze-level recruitment scrolls. Please forgive me." Su Bei immediately waved his hands again and said sincerely, "You're welcome. How can I have an opinion? This is really good." This sentence is not wrong at all. He has empty pockets now. No matter what kind of supplies come, he will not refuse. With a system in place, even bronze level or even black iron level items will play a huge role. After the clerk finished speaking, he also stepped aside. He and the headmaster of number 5 middle school actually had other things to say, but the people in the special affairs team were here, and it was not their turn to speak. Everyone focused their attention on the special task force. Zi Liangbing came over, gave the gift as usual, then pondered for a moment, and asked, "Island Master Su, I wonder if you are willing to cooperate in developing the island." Advertisement. Chapter 16 Right of Preemption, Co-Development. This topic is not the first time Su Bei has heard. Long before he entered the island world, many local consortiums contacted him and wanted to invest in him. After all, Su Bei is a top-level student who has always scored full marks in mock exams, and has great potential. Naturally, they were attracted by the consortium and wanted to cooperate. The return is the joint development right of the island. But they were all rejected by Su Bei. At that time, the system was already in a pending state. How could he agree to this condition? Su Bei also knew about the so-called joint development rights. To sum it up in one word, bit. However, for many civilian island owners, this is also a helpless choice. Becoming a trainee island owner does not mean sitting back and relax. If the heart of the island is broken in the future, you will still lose the island owner status. Although countries have support programs for trainee island owners. But not equally. To put it bluntly, only by showing value can more resources be tilted. For example, Su Bei, who was the first to become a trainee island owner this year, received 15 million worth of supplies from number 5 middle school and Zing. There are also gifts from the special affairs team, which are not low in value. There are not so many people who become apprentice island owners later. For newcomers, if you want to remove the word apprenticeship in front of the island owner, you need to survive the newcomer period, which is the first year. How can you support it when you have no money and no one? Powerless. At this time, cooperative development came into being. The trainee island owner leaves the land, and the consortium pays for the people. First, the island is developed and constructed, and then the money is distributed on the ground. Now, the Longo Special Forces reiterated the old saying. Su Bei did not directly refuse, but waited for the other party to express his plan. Zi Liangping of the special team was relieved to see that Su Bei did not speak. He also knows that the current trend in society is to cooperate in the development of a pit. Those consortiums can't wait to kick out the trainee island owner directly and monopolize the benefits. Before coming, Zi Liangping was also worried that Zing's consortium would do everything and leave a bad impression on Su Bei, so he directly rejected his proposal. Now it seems that there is a play. Zi Liangping did not dare to hesitate, and said quickly, "The plan of the special task force is that we allocate funds to help you develop the island, including military support. Although the island world cannot carry hot weapons into it, superhumans are not restricted. They are more powerful than thermal weapons. There are also various recruitment scrolls. Among the aborigines of the island world, in addition to the earth spirits who love farming, there are also fighting races. This is what the special task force said about military support. This condition made Su Bei a little interested and asked, "What about your conditions?" Zi Liangping replied, "Right of first refusal." Right of first refusal? Not even partial ownership of the island. Sube was a little surprised, but immediately reacted. At the national level, 1 or 2 islands cannot affect the overall situation. Unless it is a top island owner who has been cultivating for decades. After all, Sube is only a trainee island owner, and when he starts to exert his strength, he has a long way to go. The special team's plan is simple. The island is your own toss, and we will be responsible for paying. However, if there is output in the future, it must be sold to them first. Especially those that can help ordinary people awaken their abilities are the top priority. Sube is not disgusted with this plan. The right of first refusal is not a condition. Anyway, the output of the island is always to be sold, and it can be sold to anyone. The purchase price of the special team would not disappoint him. Selling it to the special team can also enhance the strength of the Dragon Kingdom, so why not do it? But just to be safe, Sube still asked, "Are you sure it's just the right of first refusal and nothing else?" Liangping waved his hands again, and said sternly, "Don't worry, Island Master Su, there is only this one, and the people of the Dragon Kingdom will not lie to the people of the Dragon Kingdom." Hearing this, Sube smiled and stretched out his hand. Liangping was stunned for a moment, and immediately realized that Sube had agreed, and was overjoyed. Sure enough, when dealing with these young people, you must treat each other with sincerity. Don't be foolish, treat them with sincerity, and they will not disappoint. Long ago. Although there was no formal agreement, at the moment of shaking hands, Sube and Liangping both saw a luster called trust in each other's eyes. After calming down, Liangping asked, "Island Master Su, what kind of support do you need to develop the island? Even if you tell me, I will help you prepare when I go back, and it will be ready within 3 days at the earliest." Sube already had a plan and said, "Nothing else is needed, just special seeds and various recruitment scrolls." Liangping nodded, then asked, "Is there no need for armed forces?" After a pause, Liangping said vaguely, "Island Master Su, it's not that I doubt your strength, but you also know that those monsters will continue to invade the island. If you are alone, I'm afraid it will be difficult to defend." This is true and well-meaning. However, Sube's secret cannot be exposed to outsiders, so he can only politely say, "Don't worry, Captain Z, I'm sure." Liangping opened his mouth and wanted to persuade him a few more words, but he wisely swallowed it back. For some reason, he saw confidence in the young man's eyes. The most important thing is that, as an extraordinary person, Liangping can feel the strong sense of oppression from Sube. If he really moved his hand, he, the bronze rank extraordinary, was not Sube's opponent. This is very unusual. Although Sube is a trainee island owner, he will be rewarded by the island world. But how long has he been the island owner? Not even a day. He is a subordinate of Black Iron. How can he be so strong? Outrageous. Liangping suddenly realized something. Perhaps this is why Sube was able to become a trainee island owner in less than an hour. Advertisement. Chapter 17. Return to the island. Monsters attack. Being able to reach a cooperative relationship with Sube is the biggest gain of Liangping's trip. It wasn't a waste of him to fly to Xing overnight. When things were almost over, Sube was about to leave. Although it was only an hour after he returned to Blue Star, the stereoscopic detection of the island did not report any signs of monster invasion. But my heart is always a little uneasy. Liangping saw Sube's thoughts and took the initiative to say, "Su Island Master, now is an important stage of island development, so let's go back early. By the way, I'll give you a business card. Remember to apply through a friend after you return to the island world. That's a member of our special affairs team. She will hand over the follow-up supplies to you, so you don't have to run back and forth." Sube nodded again and again. This is good. Immediately, a name was sent to Sube's communicator. Shen Kingling. You can tell it's a girl by the name. Sube thought to himself that this was to use beauty tricks on him. It seems to be pretty good too. The great man said it well. When the sugar-coated cannonball hits, peel off the sugar coating and send the cannonball back. Regardless of whether the special team has other thoughts, As long as his island coordinates are not exposed, there is nothing to worry about. In the vast and boundless island world, it is quite difficult to encounter other islands. Putting away the communicator, Sube said, I have written down this matter. If there is anything else in the future, I will contact you again. I will go back first. Although, the principal of number 5 middle school and the city lord's office affairs officer still wanted to chat with Sube, it was obviously inappropriate now, so they could only agree with him with a smile. Sube activated the mark on the back of his hand, and his figure was shrouded in light, and immediately disappeared in place. Zi Liangping didn't stay any longer, and left quickly with his men. The principal of number 5 middle school and others were left to look at each other in dismay. Once back on the island, Sube immediately felt relieved. This is his place. At the same time, the abundant energy is nourishing his body. Putting boxes big and small on the ground, Sube patted his head. He forgot to bring back the body of the iron-armored lizard, which could also be sold for a lot of money. Mainly because Sube didn't have storage equipment on hand, the meat of the ironclad lizards wouldn't last long. Even if his appetite increases, he probably won't be able to finish it in time. Pity. Sube muttered, and put the matter behind him. Although the iron-armored lizard is valuable, he has just obtained a huge sum of money, and he seems to be a moderately rich man. Looking around, the earth spirit is turning the ground with its split body. All the seeds brought over when they came before have been sown, and the newly cultivated large tracts of land have not been used. But it's not a big problem. This time, when Sube returned to Blue Star, there were a lot of seeds in the reward. After a while of rummaging through boxes, Sube found the common seeds. His current island is still very empty. Coupled with the limited resources on hand, it is impossible to plant all rare crops. For example, rice, corn, potatoes and sweet potatoes still need to be planted. The crops produced in the island world have high yields, and the taste and nutrition are also at the top level. Even those senior island owners will reserve some land on the island to grow these crops. Even if you don't sell it, you can eat it yourself. With the common crop seeds in his hand, Sube was too lazy to refresh the entry. Although he had one more chance to fix the entry, this time he returned to Blue Star, and he took a bunch of special seeds and various supplies. It's better to plant it directly. The super god entry system is the stronger. With the blessing of the entry, those high-value items will be more powerful. Tu Ling and the younger brother left with the seeds, and sowed them according to different types. Then, Sube began to check the remaining items. The first is the special seeds provided by the 5. Moonlight vines and sunflowers. Moonlight vine, low-grade black iron, juice can be squeezed after maturity, drinking can enhance night vision ability. Blazing sunflower, high-grade black iron, edible petals, slightly increased fire attribute affinity. Sube was amazed. As expected of a special seed in the island world, this effect is outrageous. Moonlight vine is good to say, strengthening night vision ability, whether it is strong or weak, it is not weak. Monsters in the island world can invade regardless of day or night. The improvement of night vision ability can also be regarded as an increase in combat effectiveness. It is a special crop with strong auxiliary effect. And the blazing sunflower is even more fierce, and it can actually increase the affinity of the fire attribute. This thing is of no use to ordinary people. But for extraordinary people, especially those who are proficient in fire, they are extremely valuable and can enhance the power of their skills. It doesn't matter how big or small it is, it's always an improvement anyway. In critical battles, that's the key to winning. Moonlight vine and sunflower, although they are only black iron, the effect is very practical, and there is no need to worry about sales. The principal of number 5 middle school has a heart. Sube muttered something. Then his eyes hit the moonlight vine seeds. Do you want to batch refresh? Refresh. 3 entry light balls appeared in the field of vision. But before Sube checked it out, he was worried. In consciousness, a 3-dimensional map of the island appeared. In the northern area of the island, 2 small red dots suddenly appeared and were approaching at an extremely fast speed. Sube was stunned for a moment, then reacted immediately. The stereo detection of the heart of the island is triggered. In other words, A monster has landed on the island. And there are two. Advertisement Chapter 18 The Second Apprentice Island Owner Sube said in his heart that the island world is indeed full of crises. Even if you become a trainee island owner, you can't take it lightly. Less than 24 hours before he killed the iron lizard, a new monster invaded. 2 more at a time. If this is not prepared, most will be caught off guard. Maybe the heart of the island will be broken. Even a little unlucky, he himself is doomed. And in Sube's heart, a bit of pride also rose. Stereo detection entry, really easy to use. As soon as the monster invades, it will call the police. Not only can accurately measure the location of the enemy invasion, but also know the number of opponents. Without any hesitation, Sube took out the dragon sword and the gust of wind leather armor from the tent, and while charging towards the monster, he also ordered the earth spirit to stop working and stand by near the heart of the island. The earth spirits and the splinter who were sowing the seeds were very obedient and obeyed immediately. There were also concerns. Although they have little fighting ability, they are also willing to fight for their homeland. Sube was moved. But it hasn't reached that point of exhaustion yet. He is already a low-level black iron, and his strength has improved from the beginning. What if there are two invading monsters? If you want to hurt the heart of the island, first ask the dragon sword in his hand if he will answer. Allowing the earth spirit to wait in peace, Sube took a deep breath, put his distracting thoughts behind him, and strode across the hills. And the figure of the invading monster also appeared in the field of vision. It's still an old face. It's an ironclad lizard. I don't know if he came to avenge his companions. The two ironclad lizards were similar in size to the original one, and Sube could also see their rank through the panel. They are all black iron subordinates. Sube pouted. That's all. He could kill the iron armor lizard with one blow before he received the award from the island world, let alone now. Roar. The armored lizard immediately roared when it saw Sube. The one on the left spewed a venom arrow from its mouth. Sube's current basic attributes are not as strong as people, and can easily avoid the venom arrow. The venom arrow landed on the soil, and immediately made a screeching sound, and at the same time, pungent white smoke rose. Sube was furious. Spitting anywhere is really unsanitary. The key is to vomit on his island and cannot bear it. Holding the long sword tightly, he rushed forward in 2 steps. Before the ironclad lizard could react, Sube rushed to the side, raised the knife and fell, splitting the ironclad lizard, spraying venom arrows in half from head to tail. What iron armor scales? He doesn't want it. Dare to endanger his island. Must die. Until this time, the other ironclad lizard had just finished roaring, but when he turned his head, his companion had already fallen to the ground with blood sprayed. The ironclad lizard's eyes stared like copper bells, and the cerebellar melon seeds couldn't understand the scene in front of them. What happened? It was promised to invade the island and enjoy the delicious food. Why did he die before he was successful? However, the ironclad lizard's doubts did not last long. In order to prevent the island from being sprayed with another sip of poison, Sube raised his knife and dropped the dragon sword across the iron-armored lizard's neck, effortlessly helping it complete the split. So far, the two invading ironclad lizards have all been killed at their invasion distance, a total of 30 meters. Sube was still a little unhappy. The venom arrow just now polluted the soil around the landing point, and even the special seeds of the island world could not be planted. Perhaps sensing the situation here, Ling took his younger brother and slid over, staring around the group of venom. The blurred facial features crumpled into a ball, obviously extremely heartache. Soon, Sube received feedback from the earth spirit. It can repair the wounds of the soil and remove the toxins. Sube was shocked. The earth spirit still has this ability. But he was also slightly concerned. Earth spirit purifies the toxins here. Will it cause irreversible damage to itself? But don't put the earth spirit in for a small amount of soil. It will be a big loss. Fortunately, Ling gave feedback. It will be fine, as long as it does not leave the island. The lost power will soon be replenished. Only then did Sube let Ling do it. Then looked at the body of the ironclad lizard in a daze. How to deal with this thing? Just bury it to fertilize the land? While thinking, Sube heard the announcement of the island world ringing in his ears. Congratulations to Richard, a newcomer of the Lighthouse Kingdom, for obtaining the heart of the island, becoming the second apprentice island owner this year, and rewarding a silver-level treasure chest for encouragement. Congratulations to Richard, a newcomer of the Lighthouse Kingdom, for obtaining the heart of the island, becoming the second apprentice island owner this year, and rewarding a silver-level treasure chest for encouragement. Congratulations to Richard, a newcomer of the Lighthouse Kingdom, for obtaining the heart of the island, becoming the second apprentice island owner this year, and rewarding a silver-level treasure chest for encouragement. 3 consecutive announcements attracted all Sube's attention. He opened the newcomer chat area and found that it had exploded. The newcomers of the Lighthouse Country jumped out one after another, advocating Richard, and at the same time did not forget to step on Sube. That cunning dragon countryman must have cheated, otherwise Richard would be the first apprentice island owner this year. For this kind of argument, Longo must not be used to it and interact again. The two sides shouted and greeted each other, which was very lively. Sube just wanted to close the chat area, but found that someone was at him. It's Richard. Lighthouse Country, Richard, at Sube, coward of the Dragon Kingdom, although you used despicable means to become the apprentice island owner, but this time the monthly rookie king, I am determined. I will let you know what real strength is. Everyone else came to his face. Sube naturally couldn't get used to it. The backhand was a message. Dragon Kingdom, Sube, at Richard, you can you up. No cab advertisement. Chapter 19 Professional grade 8 Ashamed. As the first newcomer to become a trainee island owner this year, Sube is very popular. Especially among the newcomers of the Dragon Kingdom. They already have the title of God Su. Of course, Sube himself didn't know it. Because he didn't pay much attention to the chat area at all. Now, Richard of the Lighthouse Country jumped to his face and shouted. Sube fought back decisively, and gave the opponent a head-on blow in professional lighthouse language. There was a moment of silence in the chat area, apparently stunned. Then began to frantically swipe the screen. Dragon Kingdom Zhongli, God Su, Su God, I'm going to give birth to monkeys for you. Longo Lu Daong, as expected of God Su, my first speech made my eyes dark. I have never seen such a beautiful lighthouse language. Longo Zhatian, I am an 8th level lighthouse language major, but facing Su Shen's words, I feel ashamed and feel that I have not learned enough. Longo, not much money. I wrote down this sentence, and I plan to pass it on as an ancestor's lesson. Longo Li Haiyang, brother, you have to have a partner first. The newcomers of Longo kept speaking and seemed very excited. And the newcomers in other areas are naturally very upset, especially the Lighthouse Country, who likes to clamor the most. Lighthouse Country Jack, I'm dying of laughter. Don't say it if you don't speak lighthouse language. Lighthouse Country, Bryant, I agree. These Dragon Country people always imitate us, but they can never be us. Pangsai Country Park Buell, Lighthouse Country #1 in the world. Fusion Kingdom Mayako and Kuzi, the Lighthouse Kingdom is the hope of Blue Star Asango. Nonsense. Obviously we are the #1 in the world. Compared to the Dragon Kingdom, which is one-hearted, the other newcomers appear disorganized. But this is normal, after all, they come from different national forces. There are those who please the Lighthouse Country, and naturally there are those who dislike them. Seeing that the wind direction in the chat area is getting more and more strange, and the desired goal has not been achieved at all, Richard is so angry that his lungs will explode. He obviously wanted to attack Sube's reputation and establish his own prestige. Why is it a little strange for things to develop? Where did the newcomers in this session come from? Why are they all starting to discuss the history of the Lighthouse Country? Lighthouses have a far history. Also, what did that Sube say? Where did the construction site lighthouse language come from? There is no way, but Richard can't refute it. Because the fact is there, no matter what method Sube uses, he is the first to become a trainee island owner. And it was not a little bit earlier than Richard. Today is the second day after these newcomers came to the island, and Richard became the trainee island owner. And as early as yesterday, Sube had already succeeded. Let Richard come on. He really can apostrophe T. Anyone with a discerning eye can see the difference. Although new people generally speculate that Sube is a bargain, some people think that this is not the case, and Sube must have something unique. Otherwise, there are so many lucky people, how could he succeed? There is a market for both views, and neither is convinced by the other. But no matter what, Sube's name is kept in mind by all the newcomers. They want to surpass him to prove their strength. Richard is like that. In order to become a trainee island owner, he has made adequate preparations. No matter how bad the absorption efficiency is, he still spends huge sums of money to buy special products from the island world to strengthen himself. Coupled with the guidance of various professional coaches, the combat ability is far beyond ordinary people. Not even the members of the Panther Commando were his opponents. As a result, after landing on the island, Richard's confidence was shattered. If it wasn't for his good foundation, he would have been killed by monsters long ago. After finally waiting for him to master the rhythm and prepare to attack the first trainee island owner, the announcement from the island world came. Richard's eyes were red. His first place is gone. How on earth did that cunning dragon country person cheat? Richard, who took a sigh of relief, hurried, and finally became the second apprentice island owner before the others, and won the award of the silver-level treasure chest. But Richard was not happy. Because the reward for the first place is a gold-level treasure chest. Although it is only one level worse, the value is at least 10 times worse. In anger, Richard jumped and mocked in the chat area, and then fell to the ground by Sube's loose lighthouse talk. This sentence, 18 years of skill, he can't stop it at all. But Richard's silence allowed the newcomers of Longo to seize the opportunity to output firepower, which made the newcomers of the lighthouse country scream. They even turned their guns around and scolded Richard for being unsatisfactory. Seeing the chaos in the chat area, Sube turned it off. With the skill of pouring water, he might as well write 2 more entries. Thinking of this, Sube remembered the entry he had written for Moonlight Vine just now, and before he could read it, he rushed over to fight. Now that the battle is over, it's time to go back to deal with the supplies. Especially those recruiting scrolls. Sube cares a lot. If there are a few more earth spirits or others, and then an entry similar to secondary split is generated, the number of his island residents will increase rapidly. Not only can it make him the boss of the hand, but it can also increase the rating of the island. Just as he was about to leave, Sube noticed a small red dot jumping in the lower right corner of his field of vision. It's not the invasion of monsters, it's the mark of the island world. Click to see. It's a friend request. At least a few million. Sube was startled. Then I remembered what Zi Liangbing said before I came back, and entered Shen Qingling in the friend application to search. Many have the same name. Sube thought for a while, then typed in the keyword special affairs team, refreshed again, and there was only one friend request. After passing, a message came over immediately. Island Master Su, who did you learn the lighthouse language from? Advertisement Chapter 20 Star Chrysanthemum Seedlings. Although there was no outsider beside him, Sube coughed twice, his cheeks a little hot. Isn't this focus a bit wrong? Isn't he just showing off a high-end foreign language, so there's no need to be so surprised. Concentrating his mind, Sube decided to pretend he hadn't seen this message, and instead replied, Island Master Shen, do you want to collect iron-armored lizards? I have 3 of them. On the other side, Shen Qingling was still immersed in the phrase you can you up, no cap, unable to extricate himself. This simply broke her understanding of lighthouse language. Can it still be used? However, Sube's reply made her calm down quickly, entered the working state, and quickly replied, yes. But why do you have 3? Immediately, Shen Qingling understood and asked, a new monster invaded, is there any loss? Sube replied, no, I happened to pass by when they landed, and I killed them easily. Sube wouldn't reveal the existence of stereo detection, but just said that it happened by chance. Shen Qingling didn't doubt either, because it was normal. As the owner of the island, whether it is a trainee or a senior, you must always be vigilant to prevent monsters from landing. Daily patrols are essential. If there is any irreparable loss, It is really a big loss. Shen Qingling nodded secretly, admiring Su Bei's caution. This newcomer did not get carried away by his previous achievements and kept his calm. He is indeed a talent. No wonder Captain Z said that he should focus on it. Thoughts were flying in his mind. Shen Qingling's fingertips didn't stop, and continued to reply. Islander Su means to sell the scales of the ironclad lizards. We accept it here. How much we charge? She didn't ask Su Bei how he killed the ironclad lizard, but directly assumed the attitude of business cooperation. This is what Su Bei wants. Everyone is so busy, how can they have the time to talk about other things? Looking at the corpse of the armored lizard next to him, Su Bei couldn't help but smile. Isn't this first pot of gold coming? Shen Qingling sent a message again. Island Master Su, the price of the scales of the armored lizards is relatively stable. If the length is more than 10 centimeters, one piece is 100, and one less than 50. Seeing this price, Su Bei secretly clicked his tongue. Although he has just received a huge bonus, he is still a little surprised at the value of the iron-armored lizard. A rough observation shows that there are about 300 scales on the iron-armored lizard, and at least half of them are longer than 10 centimeters. After all, an iron-armored lizard is worth about 25,000. And Su Bei has 3, at least worth 70,000. After earning 70,000 yuan in 2 days, Su Bei suddenly felt that it would be better if the frequency of monster invasions was higher. Is there a more profitable business than this? The island owner is also too cool. Restraining his mind, Su Bei simply replied, the deal is done, but the cash is no longer needed. Give me something else. No problem. How about the star chrysanthemum seedlings? I happen to have a batch here. That couldn't be better. Afterwards, Su Bei picked up the dragon yin sword, quickly peeled off all the scales, and threw the rest back into the ocean. Let them go back and forth. After the 3 armored lizards were all cleaned up, Su Bei turned on the friend trading function and put the scales on it. On the opposite side, Shen Qingling also put 3 star chrysanthemum seedlings. Su Bei's heart skipped a beat. He is now a trainee island owner and can use the internet in the island world. He also checked the value of the star chrysanthemum seedlings just now. One plant is worth 30,000 yuan. These 3 seedlings, with a total of 90,000, are worth more than the scales of the ironclad lizards. Su Bei knew that this was the other party's favor. In other words, the special team is optimistic about the development potential of Su Bei, and is ready to brush up on the goodwill first, so as to facilitate further cooperation in the future. In this regard, Su Bei will not refuse. The moment the 2 sides confirmed the transaction, the iron-armored lizard scales in front of Su Bei were enveloped in light and disappeared instantly. Subsequently, 3 plant seedlings appeared. The fragrance lingers on the tip of the nose, as if you can see the stars twinkling in front of your eyes. Star chrysanthemum seedlings, middle-grade black iron, dried and brewed tea to relieve mental stress. Although the introduction may seem ordinary. However, according to the information obtained by Su Bei, long-term use of star chrysanthemum petals to make tea can effectively protect the brain and reduce the appearance of symptoms such as Alzheimer''s. Therefore, star chrysanthemum is also a very popular island crop. When the bosses receive guests, they will make a cup. Su Bei was very satisfied, and then secretly said in his heart, refresh. Such a good thing. It's a pity not to brush it. 3 entry light balls appear. 2 white and 1 green, very common. 2 common entries are, aroma, and, increased sweetness. It can improve the taste, but not very useful. After all, star chrysanthemum, no matter how bad the taste is, some people drink it. No one thought of being old and suffering. As for the entry in cyan, it is better. Bitterness of good medicine, excellent grade. The effect is slightly improved. The price is that the taste becomes bitter, and the item level is upgraded to the top grade of black iron. This entry is not high level and has certain side effects, but Su Bei believes that those with money can tolerate it. However, he has used up the fixed number of times today, and there are other materials to deal with, so this entry can only be put on hold. Fortunately, there are still more than 2 months before the star chrysanthemum matures. If you don't want to refresh the entry during the period, you will have the opportunity to fix it again. Handing the star chrysanthemum seedlings to the Earth Spirit, Su-Bei returned to the resting point with the two Earth Spirit brothers. There is still a pile of supplies waiting for him there. Advertisement Chapter 21 Condensation of water into ice, the possibility of building an ice chamber. Returning to the resting point, the Earth Spirit and the split body held the star chrysanthemum seedlings and jumped left and right in the magic field. They are looking for the most suitable planting site. Leave this matter to them. Su-Bei doesn't have to worry about it, and turns his eyes to Moonlight Vine. The 3 entries haven't been checked yet. In fact, there is not much to see, because there are 3 white entries. Accelerate absorption, primary camouflage, roughness. There is no fixed value. It can only be refreshed tomorrow. But this does not delay planting. He has already tried it. As long as he knows where the seeds are, even if they are sprinkled in the soil, they can be refreshed. This is also the convenience of the system. Not rigid, even quite intelligent. Su-Bei called the Earth Spirit Splitter over, pointed at the Moonlight Vine seeds and said, "Plant this next to the few coconut trees." Moonlight vines are vines that need to be attached to something like a tree trunk to grow. The few coconut trees that the Earth Spirit moved over came in handy. As long as the coconut is picked in time, there is no need to worry about the Moonlight Vine being smashed. Under the claws of Su-Bei, the coconut will definitely not be able to fall off naturally. The Earth Spirit splinter body left with the Moonlight Vine seeds. Su-Bei looked at the sunflower seeds. Refresh. Familiar recipe, familiar taste. 3 white entries. Su-Bei didn't even look at it, and called the Earth Spirit who had just planted the star chrysanthemum seedlings over. This one island planted in a well-lit area. The Earth Spirit led the way. Su-Bei nodded in satisfaction. These 2 little guys are really top helpers. If only there were more. Thinking of this, Su-Bei remembered the gift from the city lord's mansion, which contained a recruitment scroll. Opening the small box given by the affairs officer at the time, 10 recruitment scrolls appeared in Su-Bei's field of vision. Divided into 2 piles, obviously of different types. Water Spirit Recruitment Scroll, Bronze Top Grade. After use, recruit a water spirit with the potential of Bronze Superior. They can condense fresh water. The effect of the water spirit of the top grade Bronze is definitely not as good as that of the Earth Spirit of the middle grade Gold. However, the advantage is that there are a large number of them. There are 5 cards, which can provide Su-Bei with 5 water spirits, and there is no shortage of fresh water in the early stage. Although the island has its own pond, if there is no stable replenishment, it will dry up sooner or later. Who knows when the next rain will come. These 5 Shui Ling recruitment scrolls are not of high grade, but they are very practical. After pondering for a while, Su-Bei decided to refresh the entries separately. If there are entries similar to secondary splits, it will make a lot of money. The effect of the Earth Spirit split body, Su-Bei sees it in his eyes. It is not as good as the original, but it is not bad. If it can be reproduced on the Water Spirit, the long-term benefits are considerable. The 5 scrolls were refreshed separately, but no suitable entry was obtained. The best is the rare level, quality upgrade, which can upgrade the Water Spirit to the top grade of Silver. Take the scroll out and put it away, and Su-Bei will use the remaining 4. The water vapor filled the air, and 4 light blue little guys appeared in front of them. Name, Shui Ling Potential, Bronze Superior Current Level, Black Iron Lower Skills, 1, Condensing Water, 2, Water Element Affinity Loyalty, 100. The overall height of the Water Spirit is only less than 40 centimeters, which is similar to the split body of the Earth Spirit. But there is no way. These water spirits are only high-grade bronze, while the Earth spirits are awarded by the island world, and their quality has reached the middle grade gold. There is a silver rank here. Even if the Earth spirit split body only has 40% of the attributes of Earth spirits, it is already on par with or even surpassed these water spirits. People have a good foundation and can't compare. But Su-Bei didn't care either. He didn't pick. Eyes shuttled over the 4 water spirits, and a smile appeared at the corner of Su-Bei's mouth. Recruitment scrolls and water spirits are calculated separately for the number of refreshes, which is really cheap. Let the water spirits line up and Subei starts to refresh. The first Shui Ling wrote an entry with 1 white and 2 green. Don't look at the white clarity. It makes the water spirit look better, and the bells and whistles don't have much practical effect. The 2 cyan entries, increased body size, and continuous wetness, have good results. The former can get more fresh water, and the latter is great for seed germination. Put it aside first, and decide whether to refresh or fix it according to the situation. Afterwards, Subei kept moving and wrote entries for the other 3 water spirits. The second and third were also so-so, but the fourth was a big surprise for Subei. A blue entry appeared. Condensation of water into ice, excellent level, obtains the ability to control temperature, can freeze water, and upgrade the item level to silver middle grade. At first glance, this entry seems to be very incompatible with Shui Ling. After all, the main function of the water spirit is to condense fresh water, and it is of little significance to form ice cubes. But Subei saw other uses. For example, iced happy water. Just kidding. Subei wanted to build an ice room based on this special water spirit to cultivate special plants. The island world is not like the Blue Star, which has clear 4 seasons. In most areas here, the temperature fluctuations are small. For common plants, it is a suitable place to grow. However, some special plants like cold regions, and they are not viable on ordinary islands. Unless the island owner builds a nice room to simulate a snowy environment. But in the case that Blue Star's mechanical equipment cannot enter the island world, this is not an ordinary difficulty. It's okay for senior island owners to pay to hire or train ice-type abilities. But for a trainee island owner like Subei, it was too difficult. The cost is too high. But now, after Shui Ling has the entry, condensation into ice, Subei has the basic conditions to build a small ice room. Subei is very clear that only by grasping the advantages that others do not have can he maximize his benefits. Special plants in cold regions are rare and difficult to cultivate. And that makes them worth twice as much. Subei would not miss this kind of money-making opportunity. Condensation of water into ice must be preserved. It may not be fixed immediately, but it will not be refreshed in the future. As for the other 3 water spirits, they will be refreshed slowly, anyway, not in a hurry. After sending the water spirits to join the earth spirits, Subei looked at the other 5 scrolls. Light Spirit Recruitment Scroll. Advertisement: if you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We are waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 22 Flashbang. Light Spirit Recruitment Scroll, Bronze Top Grade. After use, recruit a light spirit with the potential of top bronze. They can continue to emit light. Subei's first reaction when he saw this thing was no more lights on. However, the role of the light spirit is obviously not limited to being a light bulb. They are the best catalysts. For most plants, whether it is the ordinary plants of Blue Star or the special plants of the island world, sufficient lighting is necessary. The appearance of the light spirit makes Subei's island sunshine constantly. If nothing else, the sunflower seeds that Subei got from number 5 high school will grow at the fastest speed. As long as the sunflowers can hold up, Subei will definitely arrange for them to be illuminated by the sun 24 hours a day. As a special plant of the black iron top grade, this little pressure can definitely be withstood. The time it takes for Subei to produce sunflowers will be cut in half. Coupled with the blessing of the magic field, it is expected that the first batch of sunflowers will mature within a month. When the funds are in place, it can help Subei compete better for the monthly Rookie King. If successful, you will get another golden treasure chest. As long as this virtuous circle is maintained, it is also possible for him to attack the Supreme Rookie King. The more Subei thought about it, the more excited he became, and quickly completed the scroll. Refresh. Good, nothing. It was white, and the hearts of those who saw it were empty. Subei was stunned. 15 white entries, What probability is this? Although the probability of common level entries appearing is the highest. But from a probabilistic point of view, 15 white entries can appear, which is a small probability event. As a result, he ran into him. For a while, Subei didn't know whether his luck was good or bad. Choose all 5 spiritual recruitment scrolls. Unlike earth spirits and water spirits, light spirits float in midair, and their bodies are more petite, only about 20 centimeters, with translucent wings behind them. Name: Guangling potential, bronze top current level, black iron lower skills, 1. Lighting, 2. Light element affinity loyalty, 100. 5 light spirits danced around Subei, cheering. And it was obvious that they were in a good mood. Subei couldn't help but smile too. These little guys are pure-hearted, have no fuss, are absolutely loyal to him, and are the most trustworthy partners. As usual, the entries were refreshed for the 5 light spirits. The Tao is the conservation of character. When refreshing the recruitment scroll, Subei likes to mention 15 white entries. But this time, a bright purple appeared in his vision. Epic. Another epic entry, flashing, epic level, obtains the ability to burst light, greatly interferes with the enemy's sight, and the item level is upgraded to the lower gold level. Flashbang. This is Subei's first reaction. Immediately rejoiced. Ordinary Guangling has no fighting ability, and mainly assists the development of islands. But with a flash entry, it will be a good helper in battle. Subei didn't expect the light spirit to kill the enemy either. As far as their small arms and calves are concerned, they are really not deterrent. But as long as it can interfere with the enemy's line of sight, it is the greatest help. With Subei's current strength, half a second is enough for him to hack the enemy to death a dozen times. And because Blue Star's thermal weapons can't enter the island world, the monsters here have never experienced flash bombs. There will definitely be unexpected results. Subei made a decision immediately. Wait until the midnight entry has a fixed chance to refresh, and this flash entry must be fixed. He didn't know when or how big the next monster invasion would be. In this case, it is necessary to maximize the combat power at hand. Take a step back. Even if the monster doesn't come. The luminous spirit, whose quality has been upgraded to the lower grade of gold, can also emit a brighter light, and it is also a good helper for catalyzing plants on weekdays. As for the other 4 light spirits, just like Shui Ling, they refreshed the entries every day until the appropriate entry appeared. No hurry. Subei looked at the light spirit with the flash entry, wondering if it should be renamed to distinguish it. These elemental beings are also intelligent, and they can respond faster if they call their names. Subconsciously, Subei wanted to change the name of the light spirit to Flashbang. Still held back. The light spirit is petite and cute, and it is really inappropriate to call it a Flashbang. Eventually, Subei renamed the luminous spirit Xiaoshan. Guangling waved its wings cheerfully and made a crisp sound, as if singing. Obviously, it's happy with the name. Putting Guangling on standby, out of the corner of Subei's eyes, he swept to the corner of the box, and there was a small delicate box the size of a palm. Open. There are seeds inside, only one, the size of a quail egg. Light-bearing fruit tree seeds, bronze top grade, can produce light-bearing fruit after maturity. There is a chance to awaken E-level light power. Subei was a little surprised. It turned out to be a special plant seed capable of awakening abilities. This value really cannot be measured by money. No wonder the gift from the city lord's mansion was worth tens of millions, and as a result, a small box was filled. Good guy. There is no perfunctory, all dry goods. 10 scrolls, which initially solved the problems of fresh water and light for Subei. Can't say preliminary. There is a super god entry system, which solves the problem to a large extent. Even if Subei develops the island aggressively, there is no need to worry about the shortage of resources. And this light-bearing fruit tree seed, the value is not under the 10 recruitment scrolls at all. Even higher. After all, if this thing is cultivated, it can continuously produce fruit containing light. Although only E-level abilities can be awakened, there is still a chance. Still can't hide its value. Unlike the Island Master, The awakening ability is a prerequisite for ordinary people to become extraordinary. That is the existence of the status and status second only to the island owner, and the mainstay of the armed forces of various countries. There is no need to worry about the sales of Hangyuango. Moreover, Subei cooperated with the Dragon Country Special Team. As long as the fruit of light begins to be produced, Shen Qingling will definitely want as much as he has. Advertisement Chapter 23 The rating of the island has soared. The fruit tree seeds with light are the most valuable item in Subei's hands after the seeds of the blood spirit fruit tree. He felt the need to wash his face before refreshing. Calling a water spirit over, Subei was amazed at the water column that appeared out of thin air. After washing his hands and face, Subei picked up the fruit tree seeds with devotion on his face. Refresh. 3 entries appeared, 1 white, 1 green and 1 green. Anyway, the result is not ideal. And I didn't get the fast-growing entry that Subei wanted, so I could only give it to the earth spirit and dig a hole in the magic field to plant it. Then sent a light spirit over to wait by the side. The light-containing fruit has a great demand for light, which can be seen from the name. For the sake of insurance, Subei also checked relevant information. Knowing that the growth of Hangyuango is inseparable from the spirit of light, he is also quite satisfied with the gift of the city lord of Xiang. And the other party was so prepared, Subei guessed that he also wanted to use his island to get some light fruit. Xiang is not a big city, the resources that can be obtained are limited, and there are not many extraordinary people in the city. If you can get a batch of fruit containing light, maybe a few more extraordinary people can come out. This point is very important. Blue Star's current environment is also very different from the original. While the island world brings opportunities, it also brings hidden crises. There are so many island owners, and it is impossible for them to have 3 correct views. Many island owners are even full of evil. In addition to bringing the special plants of the island world to Blue Star, the imprint's teleportation function can actually bring those monsters. Although this is explicitly prohibited by various countries, it is impossible for someone to take risks. Like some extremist organization, they often do this kind of thing. In the current Blue Star, there are often cases of monsters hurting people. Fortunately, perhaps Blue Star's energy is not strong enough, and the strength of those monsters will be greatly reduced. But it's still a hazard. The demand for extraordinary people in various countries is also increasing day by day. And to put it further, small movements between countries are also constant. Just like the Lighthouse country, they often secretly drop monsters into other areas. A reporter broke the news before, but the relevant information was blocked in a blink of an eye, and the reporter never appeared again. All in all, whether it is Blue Star or Island World, the situation is actually very complicated. Subei calmed down. He can't take care of these things for the time being, and he doesn't really want to take care of them. What we need to do now is to develop the island. In addition to planting plants and defending against monsters, it is to expand the area of the island. The initial area of the island is basically about 1 square kilometer. If you want to expand the area in the future, you need to upgrade the rating of the island, thereby enhancing the attractiveness of the heart of the island. The rock and soil floating in the ocean will be attracted and integrated into the island. This process is relatively slow, and it is better than fully automatic, without the island owner worrying about it. The heart of the island can be solved automatically. There are several ways to quickly expand the area. The first is to kill monsters, and there is a certain chance to obtain various special items. Among them is the island expansion scroll that directly increases the size of the island. Also known as the Gui explosion equipment. The second is to absorb the fusion desert island. The island world is too big, with many islands lying idle. In addition, if the island owner is eliminated, their island will also become a borderless land, drifting with the waves and the endless ocean. If you encounter such an island, you can integrate and absorb it to expand the area of the island. The next development center of Subei will be on expanding the area. He can get new earth spirit splits every day, and the existing island land is about to be reclaimed. It is a great waste of labor to let the soil spirits idle. As for selling the split, Subei didn't even think about it. If something is exposed, then the trouble will be big. While thinking about it, Tu Ling worked diligently and sowed all the seeds that Su Bei brought back. Subsequently, Shui Ling controlled the high-energy nutrient solution for watering. The light spirits danced back and forth on the soil, spreading light and heat to the earth. The whole process, Su Bei just stood by and watched, very comfortable. Subsequently, Su Bei also received constant notifications from the island world. Your island rating has been improved, and it is currently 13.5 stars. Your island rating has been improved, and it is currently 15.2 stars. Your island rating has been improved, and it is currently 19 stars. In just a short while, the notification sounded nearly 10 times. After all the seeds were planted, Su Bei's island rating stopped at 32.7 stars, a huge improvement. And that's not all. At midnight, the entry is fixed and the refresh opportunity is reset, and the island rating will soar again. It is estimated that it will jump directly to more than 40. Su Bei opened the Apprentice Island Master Island rating list. There are only 2 names on it. Su Bei, Richard. Su Bei looked at Richard's island rating and was a little surprised. In a short period of time, he rushed the island rating to 28 stars. If Su Bei had not planted a bunch of crops, he would have even been overtaken. In doubt, Su Bei received a message from Shen Qingling. Islander Su, Richard has received the support of the Lighthouse Kingdom. In addition to various special plants, there are also 20 mushroom people. It is said that they will spend a lot of money to transfer the entire plants directly. Seeing this news, Su Bei was taken aback. It turned out to be shaking people. No wonder. However, due to the urgency of Lighthouse Country, Richard estimated that he paid a considerable price. Shen Qingling's follow-up news also confirmed Su Bei's speculation. Richard surrendered 40% of the island's ownership. Su Bei's heart skipped a beat. Could it be that the subtext of Shen Qingling's words was to let him hand over part of the ownership? Come on, that old boy is Li Angping, who said that the people of Longo didn't lie to the people of Longo. It's still a huge pit. However, such a thing did not happen, and Shen Qingling sent another message. Island Master Su, the special team is going to increase the inclination of your resources. You don't need to pay for the ownership of the island, it's free. Su Bei was a little surprised. What was the special team doing this? After sending the question in his mind, Su Bei received a reply with only 4 words. Win glory for the country. Advertisement. Chapter 24. Changes in the island world. The 4 words "win glory for the country" made Su Bei awe-inspiring. Then I realized that the current situation of the Dragon Kingdom seems to be not very good. It stands to reason that the competition among the Apprentice Island owners is important, but not too important. It is true that the more Apprentice Island owners there are, the more senior island owners will eventually become. After all, the base is there, and no matter how small the probability is, the number can be piled up. But here's the problem. Whether it is the Dragon Kingdom or the Lighthouse Kingdom, or other national forces, there are actually not a few senior island owners under their command. The island world has been around for 100 years, and tens of millions of newcomers pour in every year. No matter how high the elimination rate is, someone will always stand out. And once those island owners got a foothold, it started to snowball. Having them send resources to Blue Star should be enough. The competition among Apprentice Island owners is nothing more than for the monthly Rookie King. The reward for the first place is a golden treasure chest, which is extremely valuable, and tens of millions are said to be less. At least several hundred million. But so what? At the national level, billions are small numbers. Even if you become the Supreme Rookie King and get a diamond-level treasure chest, that seems to be the case. In the history of 100 years, there have been 4 Supreme New Kings, but they have not seen the 4 countries soaring in place. The strength of a single island owner does not seem to determine the direction of the world situation. Although Su Bei has a system, he only wants to be the boss in the island world. He doesn't think he can help the Dragon Kingdom unify the world. Other countries are also not vegetarian. That's why Su Bei wondered why the special team was so excited after hearing that Richard had received the support of the Lighthouse State, and even slogan of winning glory for the country. What did Su Bei say? He directly sent this question to Shen Qingling. The news seemed to sink into the sea in the past, and there was no response for a long time. Just when Sube was about to close the chat window, Shen Qingling's message came. Based on limited information, we have calculated that the island world is about to undergo a lot of changes. In order to meet the challenge, we need stronger power. Existing island owners have limited room for improvement, but you are different. As a newcomer, you have unlimited possibilities. This statement seems to be the case. Although there are still many doubts, it can be regarded as evidence-based anyway. Having said that, what is the change that Shen Qingling talked about? Is the island world about to explode? Not really. He has been through for 18 years, and he is about to take off with great difficulty. But don't die halfway. It's just that Sube asked again, but Shen Qingling didn't answer, but changed the subject. In the past 2 days, we will try our best to collect special plants for you, but we must give you a vaccination first, and the effect may not be very satisfactory. Sube didn't care too much. The island world has basic rules. The higher the value of the item, the higher the cost when teleporting over long distances. In order to increase Richard's island rating, the price to be paid for coming to the lighthouse country is not small. With this in mind, Sube decisively sent a message to Shen Qingling. There is no need to prepare too many mature plants. The cost of transmission is too high. Just add more seedlings. Shen Qingling was a little surprised, but didn't ask any further questions. She knew that things like magic fields existed, and guessed that Sube had opened a similar reward from the golden treasure chest. If there is a magic field, even seedlings will grow up quickly. The cost of sending seedlings is much lower and within the range of the special team. Shen Qingling promised to prepare at least 300 seedlings before the day after tomorrow. And Sube's request was simple. Not too many types. But don't come here and there. Shen Qingling wisely didn't ask any further questions. Although it is said that the diversity of plants is conducive to the improvement of the island's rating, since Sube asked for it, she complied. Everyone has secrets, and asking too much will only affect the relationship between the two parties. Sube closed the chat window and was about to express a few words of emotion when he heard another announcement from Island World. Congratulations to the newcomer Fizz, who won the heart of the island and became the third trainee island owner this year, and a bronze-level treasure chest will be awarded as an encouragement. Congratulations to the newcomer Fizz, who won the heart of the island and became the third trainee island owner this year, and a bronze-level treasure chest will be awarded as an encouragement. Congratulations to the newcomer Fizz, who won the heart of the island and became the third trainee island owner this year, and a bronze-level treasure chest will be awarded as an encouragement. Sube opened the newcomer chat area, and as always, the newcomers who never sat in the sun showed their strength there. Fitz is even more mad, wanting to punch Sube and step on Richard to ascend the throne of the Rookie of the Month. Then they were jointly blasted by the newcomers from the Dragon Kingdom and the Lighthouse Kingdom, and they dared not say anything. Sube dived and observed for a while, then exited the chat area and started exercising. There are earth spirits and they are there, and he does not need to do the work of land reclamation. There is stereo detection, and there is no need to patrol around the island. There is nothing to do inside or outside. It is better to practice fighting skills. Time passed slowly, and it was midnight in the blink of an eye. As soon as the fixed number of entries and the number of refreshes were reset, Sube immediately greeted Shui Ling and Guang Ling. First, fix the entry of Xiaoshan's Blaze. Under the attention of Wei Li of the epic entry, Dao Shan's body grew long against the wind, and soon reached more than 30 centimeters, and his body became more solid. Then, Sube looked at the remaining little guys and locked on one of the water spirits. Refresh. As soon as the instruction went down, the familiar purple light appeared. Epic again. Advertisement Chapter 25 Surprise again and again. Sube has 5 water spirits, and one of them has already reserved condensation into ice, and it will be fixed later. Now, after the refresh opportunity was reset, the new water spirit he selected brought him a lot of surprises. One swipe is epic. Nourishing life, epic level, make the plants in the area grow rapidly, reduce the growth time by 10%, and upgrade the item level to the best silver. The basic quality of water spirits is top grade bronze. which is one level lower than that of light spirits. It is also an epic entry, and the quality of exhaustion has been upgraded to the golden low. But this water spirit can only be upgraded to the best silver. Of course, whether it is the best silver or the lowest gold, it is impossible to find. Not to mention a newcomer, even a senior island owner may not be able to have it. Tsubei is naturally not picky. In addition, the effect of this epic entry is quite powerful. Speeding up the growth of plants. Although it is reduced by 10%, it may not seem like it, but it is better in a wide range. Moreover, water spirits can move freely, and even plants planted outside the magic field can enjoy the effect of nourishing life. This adds up to quite a lot. Tsubei immediately issued a fixed order in his heart. The power of the epic entry was poured into the body of the water spirit, and its body swelled up, about half a meter in height, and the whole body was green and full of vitality. After thinking about it, Tsubei renamed this water spirit Little Green, which is very in line with its color. In addition, according to Tsubei's observation, after Exhaustion and Zilu obtained epic entries, not only did their bodies become more solid, but their facial contours became clearer. According to this trend, they may become elemental spirits after growing. Not only has enough intelligence, but also speaks. Tsubei is looking forward to that day. An epic entry appeared on the first refresh, and Tsubei was confident enough to refresh the remaining 3 water spirits one by one. Then I got a bunch of weird entries: red, temperature adjustment, muddy face. Tsubei was very suspicious of what else the system's entry repository could come up with. Are these entries fixed by ordinary people? Anyway, Tsubei 1'T. After appointing Zilu as the captain of the water spirit team, Tsubei let them play by themselves. He called the light over. During this process, Shan floated on his shoulders all the time, illuminating Tsubei's field of vision, and he also carefully adjusted the light intensity to avoid glare. Such a thoughtful little padded jacket made Tsubei smile like an old father. Reaching out to touch Shan's head, Tsubei refreshed several other entries of Guangling. Then began to doubt life: neon lights, blind dog eyes, driving recorder. Tsubei couldn't help but get dark in front of his eyes, jumped up and shouted, "System, come out for me. I am here. You, explain to me what these entries are about." Ding. The detection is complete, there is no abnormality, and the refreshed entries are all normal. This is normal. Can you come up with some useful entries? Back to the host. The entry refresh is completely random. What will happen? The system can't intervene. Please make persistent efforts. After the system responded, there was no movement. No matter how Tsubei called, it was just pretending to be dead. Tsubei had no choice but to let the 4 light spirits follow the Shui Ling team to take care of the seeds, while he took Shan around the fields. The refresh of Guangling and Shiling did not get more high-value entries. It is not a big deal, and there are still a bunch of seeds waiting. Tsubei went straight to the seed of the fruit tree with light. Even though the seeds were buried deep in the ground, he still saw the attribute panel in his field of vision. Refresh. Perhaps the system was trying to restore Tsubei's confidence, and the 3 candidate entries this time were at least of good quality. 2 blue and 1 blue, not even white, gave Tsubei enough face. Tsubei thought to himself that I was also the owner of the face fruit. Why didn't I find out before? Taking a glance at the 2 cyan excellent entries, Tsubei became more and more satisfied. Light growth and yield increase both work from different angles, and ultimately allow Tsubei to harvest more fruit with light. If it could be fixed, it would be perfect. Thinking of this, Tsubei asked in his heart, "System, when will the second entry be fixed?" He had previously been promoted to the lower level of Black Iron, and received additional fixed opportunities. But for a single object, for the time being, only 1 entry can be fixed. It's enough for the time being, but it's a good habit to plan ahead. Who would think that their strength is too strong? The system also responded, "Promotion to the silver level will give you the ability to fix the second entry. Although it is a bit far, there is still hope." Tsubei couldn't help but look forward to a new round of monster invasion, and only in battle can he level up faster. Collecting his thoughts, Subei looked at the blue entry containing the seeds of the fruit tree. Power enhancement, excellent grade. The light base power of the awakening of the fruit containing light is raised to D grade, and the item level is raised to silver top grade. Subei was overjoyed. There's even such an entry. Although the E level ability and D level ability are only one level apart, the actual performance is very different. No matter in Blue Star or Island World, an extraordinary person with D level ability can be regarded as a hero. Fixed. Ding. The entry has been fixed. Following the instruction, Subei could feel that the seeds of the light-bearing fruit tree in the soil were emitting a desire. It needs more sunlight. Subei immediately called over 2 light spirits, and they were in charge of this place, making sure that the seeds of the light-bearing fruit tree germinate in the shortest possible time. The huge improvement of the fruit tree seeds from Hang Yuan gave Subei a lot of confidence, and he immediately thought of the seeds of the sunflower. Walked quickly and refreshed directly. 2 white and 1 green. Subei looked directly at the green rare entry, flame condensation, rare level, so that the sunflower has the effect of awakening the A-level fire type ability, and the item level is upgraded to the bronze top level. Perfect. Advertisement. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.